Well, it would appear that we are live and we are kicking here with Nexus versus Skade. This is ESL Southeast Europe Championship. It is Season 10, and I am Extremes. With me, as always, is Hayes, and we're about to be heading into this pistol round. Teams are getting going here on Mirage, our first map. Matt?
So, got some B execute coming through here, but Skade getting shut down. Zello with 2 quick frags, and all of a sudden this has become very tough for Denny's Law. He's looking to make it work here behind the pillar, but he's lost his support in rocking, and now a 1 versus 3, and they know exactly where he is. Surely it's just a matter of time before he goes down.
And he does. That was pretty easy for Nexus. I wasn't expecting it to be an easy game in general. I don't know if that's a sign of things to come. Probably too soon to say, but
yeah,
in general, I think this is probably one of the better matches we could have had to start things off. One of the former champions, and then Skade, who have aspirations of being champions themselves, been a great team lately.
Yeah, they certainly have been on an upward trajectory. Of course, they made a recent roster change, bringing Rainwaker in for Vultrix, and they're getting very aggressive now up middle. Of course, they only have Glocks, so they're just trying to overwhelm somebody, potentially see if they can find a weapon, do a bit of damage, but really not much hope for them in a round like this. So yeah, just touching on that change, Vultrix opting to focus on his studies, so taking a backseat in the way of gaming. And in that case, he stepped down from then B Pro, and Rainwaker has joined the team from Fate, and we know that there's a huge rivalry between those 2 Bulgarian teams, so that's quite an interesting pickup.
Yeah, considering Vultrix was looking great actually the other day as well, and has in general played pretty well for them. If anyone, I would have probably zeroed in on Zix as one of the weaker performers, but
yeah, I think it was for his studies though. It wasn't a forced. It was actually a forced change. Anyway, getting back into the round here because we've got a buy from Skade, and they're pushing straight into the A bomb side. Denny's Law completely dismantles the defense with 2 sharp kills. There's still a player here underneath Palace. It's IM, and he's been able to go undetected. He finds the first. Nice transfer there to get the second, and he's gonna have to get a lot more than that done. Mike here in the 1 versus 2 retrieves the ESG. We know how strong this weapon is.
yeah, it is a pretty great weapon. Unfortunately, he gets double peak there. Gets 1.
Got 1 though. Yeah, wow. Probably a bit more than he bargained for when he came around that corner.
Yeah, that's kind of the nightmare scenario. If you see 2 players, you kind of want them to be lined up and not standing at just like enough of an angle that it's not really going to be easy to take them down. And
yeah,
well, Skade get the first round. Of course, as you said, they were called B Pro before, so
yeah.
If anyone gets confused, we'll keep repeating that occasionally just so that you know who Skade are.
Yeah, because they actually only made the announcement today, a couple of hours ago, in fact. So this may be the first official in which they're actually representing their new org, and they're going to be rushing straight into the speed bomb side, not wasting any time. Zoots is able to find 1 Zello in support. He needs to stay alive here to buy some time for the rotations to come through. He doesn't even need to do that, as he's already found a second frag, though. Oh, great shot from Rocking, and as the dust settles, we're into a 2 versus 2.
That's a really well-placed molly as well. He can't know it, but BTN walking up close here, making a meal of it, but he does get the kill, Matt, and that's really important for the CTs, leaving just Zix all alone. I mentioned him as maybe one of the weaker players. Well, he's going to have to show himself to be strong here, Matt.
Yeah, he's had a couple of impressive games from what I've seen. He has had a few up and down performances, I think, fairly inconsistent, but still, when he's on his game, he certainly is a force to be reckoned with.
Really young player as well.
Yeah, he is actually quite young, hey? I'm a bit confused. Why are there 3 blue dots on my minimap when there's only 2 Nexus players alive? I don't see a decoy either, so
yeah, that was short-circuiting my brain too there, Matt. Hopefully it's not on their minimaps either, because that's going to be super confusing, but probably just a hide issue. Both players coming from the same angle, which I think is important.
BTN and Raga both making their way forward, as you said, arm in arm as they start to get themselves onto the bomb site. Zix, he's gone for the full wraparound though, and he's going to be pushing through to connector. There's a smoke on the bomb though, and the diffuser's being stuck. He's able to find the frag on the player who's looking to defend his teammate. A few more seconds here with the Glock though. Zix is going to be able to find the frag in the nick of time. And opting not to pick up the AWP as well, so interesting tactical decision there.
Wow, extreme amount of panic I think in Zix here as he was going for this spray. Just pulls out his Glock and hopes for the best.
Yeah.
And
that's when you start to think that it's probably not going to be going your way.
Oh yeah, that's nightmare stuff. When you got the jump on them, they're not looking for you at all, and you nearly lose it. But hey, he does win, and that actually leaves Nexus in a tough spot here. They're on a save.
Yeah. And that's probably a round that they should have actually won. So they're looking to get some damage done through the edge of the smoke, but Skate working with the opportunities that are being created as the attention gets taken towards middle. Zix capitalizing, coming through Palace. So it is just a bug on the HUD. I see number 4 there towards the ramp. Going to be a, a fixed addition for the rest of the game, it would appear. Probably going to confuse me a couple of times, but that's okay. So we got quite an interesting Nexus team this season. IM, Zoots, and Raga, a couple of unfamiliar names joining in with Zello and BTN, 2 players we're a bit more familiar with from the likes of Nexus. IM was actually a part of the team at the start of the year, and then he left, and now he's rejoined once again.
He was in Red Fear, wasn't he?
Yes, he was in the previous season, and we've always enjoyed watching him play. He's such a quick player, very, very good at the game.
Yeah, I really do enjoy him. Talking about quick though, Skade moving in here quickly, and IM, the very man we mentioned, gets the kill. BTN also sharing in one as well. Finally the reply for Zix.
Yeah, he's going to have to get a bit more than that though. Still a one-man advantage here for Nexus as they start to make their way towards the A-bomb site.
Well, Zoot's on a bit of a lonely outpost there on B. Don't know if he's timing out. He's standing very still.
Yeah, looks like he must be timing out. A bit unfortunate as well because they're definitely not going to be resetting the round. So this is a 3 versus 3, all things considered. And Skade identifying that there's still so much time left on the clock, so no need to commit to that A execute. They're able to secure the bomb and get out with those 3 players and then just reconsider what their angle of attack is actually going to be. And they're just sticking back to back right now as they make their way through middle.
You were mentioning the change in lineup for Nexus. Well, this is a man who hasn't changed. He's all about them frags, Matt.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job. We've seen him throughout season, in and out. He has just always been topping the charts with the AWP. Interestingly, though, I put a tweet out saying I'm looking forward to the Denny's Law versus Zello AWP matchup, and he corrected me saying that it's actually going to be a Raga versus Denny's Law AWP matchup. So I'm not sure if that's actually some sort of a change, potentially, where he's not going to be AWPing.
See, I was actually going to snake you for that point, and then you snaked me back, so...
Oh, damn. Well, in the end, the snake got snaked then.
It does seem like it. That is an interesting point, because I think Zello is definitely the best AWPer that we've seen in Southeast Europe Championship, aside from Cirque, of course, who moved on to NRG quite some time ago.
Yeah, but in recent times. In recent times, I completely agree with you that Zello has been the best. Of the man, he says his name 3 times in a mirror, and he pops up with the frag. Rocking on the lurk has been able to find one over on Zoots as well, and Skade taking firm control on this round with a massive advantage.
Big advantage, only pressed home yet further with that kill from Zix.
Yeah.
That leaves 2 CTs. No, that's just the radar. 1 CT, Zello.
There we go. But you first.
Yeah, Zello is actually on top of the fake CT, so let's see how it goes from 1v5. I don't see it, man. He'll just be lucky to walk out alive with this gun.
There's quite a few low health players on the side of Skate, so maybe he could do some damage. He's able to find that first frag onto Zix. He knows where Raftu is as well, but Raftu is going to be able to dispatch of him with a nice headshot. Skate get themselves ahead with 4-3. Like I said, Mike, they haven't had much time with Rainmaker. They've only had a couple of practices according to Rocking's Twitter, so they're not going to have much when it comes to their tactical depth on the T side.
I'm interested to see that Rainmaker would actually move from Fate. I mean, they won Season 9. Why change? But apparently there's reasons to change.
Yeah, I mean, they beat B-Pro in that semi-final, right? And then they actually played against each other recently, and B-Pro beat Fate 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. It was a close game, and he jumped ship soon after that. So maybe that was a convincing factor, perhaps.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. I guess we'll see how things play out here. Of course, things are not going to play in favor of Nexus in this round. Definitely with pistols.
Yeah, pretty much just try and make something happen amongst the chaos, perhaps. Skade, passive in their approach. They send some players out just to make sure there's no early aggression, but then they group back towards the A-bomb sites, and what a shot from IM.
Jeez, he had to make quite an adjustment there, and he still does it.
Yeah, that's going to be throwing the cats amongst the pigeons here, because do Skade now continue to commit to the A-bomb side even after losing that player? It seems like that's the call. And they're going to be bursting out of Palace and Ramp simultaneously. BTN trying to find a timing as that Molotov comes through, and he's able to take down Rocking. That secures the AK as well. Only 3 players left here for Skade. 40 seconds left on the clock as well, so they're going to have to commit here. And that's exactly what they're doing as they make their way forward. Rainwaker leading the charge. Nice frag there from him. But still more work needs to get done, even though there's pistols left on the side of Nexus. These pistols are dangerous, and Zello times his peak perfectly. I am the man who started it all, is going to finish it off as well.
I started it, I'll finish it, he says. And well, 4 all of a sudden. And I was just saying that Nexus shouldn't be able to do too much in this round, and they proved me wrong. I like being proven wrong there, Matt. If it involves exciting moments like that, because
yes,
certainly as a round they stole, they robbed them.
Yeah, that certainly was a round which should not have been theirs, and we're going to be seeing an aggressive return coming through here from Skade. Nice entry from Zix, using that smoke to extinguish the fire, allowing him to get into the bomb site, and he lands a great follow-up there. It's now on BTN to try and take control back of the bomb site, but he's not going to be able to find anything more than just the one flag. But Zello he picks himself up the double, nearly getting the triple. He needs to stay alive though. Zoots trying to have an impact as well from CT, but the diversion's been created, allowing Rocking to come through with the backstab, and that's a very easy frag as he takes down Zello. Now the 1 versus 2 for Zoots.
Zoots probably doing the right thing and trying to move over towards the B bomb side. It just depends on if he gets caught past murder holes. He's actually walking back to CT, and I guess that would be a wrong call, but he has no information. We've got the radar. He's got a radar too, but it doesn't have the same information out there.
Yeah, that would somewhat defeat the purpose of the game, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I'm really glad we don't have that. I mean, some players in matchmaking have that, but...
Yes, some of them. Most people I play against tend to.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what it is. If they're beating me, they must be cheating. Meanwhile, Rocking, well, that's as easy as he likes. Doesn't need to activate at all.
Yeah, just the 3-tap with the Desert Eagle. Zeus was a sitting target, and this was a nice execute coming through from Skade, turning on the burner, getting into that A bomb site so aggressively, but the pistols were enough to shut them down, just snapping away at the ankles.
The mega replay, man. That's what we're getting.
Yeah, kind of threw me off my game. Back into the replay we go, just to confuse me even more.
Wow.
This was a nice one from Rocking, coming through with that backstab. 2K in the round.
Back into the live round we are. 1 minute 25 on the clock, so still plenty of time. We didn't miss too much there. Got all the sweet replays, which is always cool to have.
Yeah, it certainly is. We've got a buy coming through here from Nexus, and this is what they were known for in the previous season, Mike, forcing when it may not have been advised. Rafter already taking down Zoots. I am getting aggressive. He knows that he needs to do something in return. He's able to find one, but there's a couple more around that corner, and he's going to continue to push forward, which means he does go down. At least though BTN finds a frag, and it's actually quite low HP for 2 of the 3 Skade players, so certainly still potential for Nexus in the round. Well, that potential diminishing as Rainwaker charges forward, but Zello, he finds himself a double, and now suspicions are confirmed that Raga is going to be the AWPer here over Zello. Let's see what he can do, Mike. He's in the 1 versus 1 opportunity for him to stamp his authority here. Win out a nice clutch early on. And he just misses the timing as he comes around the corner. Rafter realizing that he has enough time to get to that B bomb site, but he doesn't really have much margin for error.
No, he does not. And you can definitely see that Raga got the call from his teammates. Pulls out the pistol. He's got an AWP in his back, but he knows that he's low, so therefore switching over. Rafter should be able to get in here and get the plant pretty cleanly. How much space will he get, though, to set himself up here after this plant? So there's 2 approaches to this. Either you go super passive because you're low HP, or you look for the fight. And it looks like he's going to sit on the cross here. Oh, and he gets it, man.
Oh my word. What ball's coming out of Rafter there, Mike, to actually just take the angle, look for the fight, and come out on top. 17-year-old as well.
It feels like he's been around forever as well. I mean, I know him going back to season 7, so the man has certainly got some pedigree behind him. He's played in a bunch of good teams. Talking about pedigree, Zello, who else? 130 ADR at the top there, but it feels like the story we know, isn't it?
Yeah,
Zello
14 frags in 10 rounds. And we're going to be seeing heavy B execute coming through here from Skade, not wasting any time as they make their way into the bomb site, but they run into Zello once again. I think they'll actually take the 1-for-1 trade if they're able to remove him from the equation, and off the back of that they're able to propel themselves into the B bomb site as they continue to surge forward. Quite a bit of damage being done here by these pistols, but fortunately not much of that being lethal. I am looking for a timing. Oh, did he have auto pickup on there? Feels like he changed to that SMG as soon as he came through.
Yeah, that's always the unfortunate thing. Hey, you know, when you start a new Smurf account and you auto pick. No, wait, do people not know that one? Okay.
Yeah, that's only a problem you have, Mike, with all your number of Smurfs.
This is true. Well, a problem that Nexus have at the moment is that they are trailing on CT side on Mirage, which is not a position you want to be in. Don't have an AWP either, so they're very low on utility too. So they're gonna have to win these fights straight up, man.
Yeah, and they don't, like you said, they don't have the big green gun to work with, which means Skade are going to have a little bit more free ground to work with. Middle's going to be a bit more tough for Nexus to contest as well, so you can see that they're taking a bit more of a defensive angle, posting a player in the ladder room or just in the corner of snipers, and then one man watching from connector.
Kills are definitely coming.
Going on. Oh, Raga able to find that first frag as he shuts down Rainwaker coming up ramp, but I think he was more of a fake than anything else because it looks like Skade are going to be taking that bomb towards B. No, changing it up because they've got Raftu and Connector in a strong position here. They've also got that boost into snipers from Rocking. Both these players looking to have an impact, frags, or rather damage being traded back and forth, but it's IM who comes out on top. Doesn't last for much longer though, and Skade making their way forward.
Well, there's BTN with a kill, the in-game leader here, doing what he needs to do to keep them in the ascendancy. Numbers-wise, Zello on the angle, sprays them down, just a hail of bullets, Matt.
Yeah, perfect spray down coming through there from Zello. He seems like he's just got such a good knack for timing in this game, constantly peaking exactly when he needs to.
Yeah, indeed, and this could have gone very badly for IM and Co. He only gets the one before getting traded off. But in the end, Nexus do get it across the line, and that's very important for them in the context of this map. Of course, it's not a best of 3; it's two best of 1s or a best of 2, depending on how you want, what you want to call it. But so
yeah.
a draw is entirely possible, and we do see it happen quite a bit throughout Southeast Europe Championship. It's just you want to try and avoid that eventuality. Make sure that you get that first map under your belt and set yourself up well. But so far, Skade, I think they've already done what they needed to do in this half, and I feel, you know, they could very well end up on 9 if they keep going.
Yeah, that's looking like a likely eventuality at this point. I think this round is going to be very telling if that's going to be the case or not. Nexus need to get back to winning ways here, considering that they've got weapons to work with. They were able to win the previous round, but they need to string a couple together now.
I do think it's pretty good to see Nexus actually willing to change the lineup, because they did stick with the previous lineup for a bit, and they had probably their most unsuccessful season that I've seen in the last couple of years in SEC. So let's see how the new lineup fares. Raga, the new man, the new AWPer, in fact, he's got a rifle in his hands right now and doing pretty well with it, Matt.
Yeah, finds the first frag there, but now it's over towards the B bomb side. Zoots has a job to do. He's got support from Zello as well, and they don't even know about him yet. The crossfire has been set, the trap has been sprung, and the damage is done. Denny's Law finally coming through with the frag, but so low on health, he's not going to be able to do much more. And a great shot there from Zello as he finds his second kill in the round. How many multi-kills has he had in this game so far?
Yeah, he seems to deal in them pretty much exclusively. And they get Raga on the angle. He did a really nice job there, actually playing the anchor, making sure that he didn't die. And that's interesting to see out of a player who's supposed to be playing as a primary AWPer. You'll tend to see them play a much more aggressive sort of game towards B. But they're actually playing what you typically see out of a more conservative anchor sort of player. So
yeah,
I think that's good to see. I think Nexus need more of that, man. I mean, if we look at previous seasons. Well.
Such an aggressive team by nature. Toning it down a bit certainly would go a long way in helping them win those rounds, which they sometimes drop the ball on where they shouldn't be.
I remember this team last week in the regional qualifier. Do you remember them? Bombonica, you know, they were pretty aggressive. It didn't work for them, did it?
Oh, look at the aggression coming through from middle right now. Rag is able to get a triple. Rainmaker, somehow he's able to come away with 2 with the Glock. That's not supposed to happen.
No, not against the 4x.
7-7 is the scoreline now, leveled up. Who's going to be winning the half?
Well, I think the momentum has shifted fairly decisively back towards Nexus. We've got the AWP in Rugger's hands for the first time in a long while. But of course, the secret weapon that's not a secret at all, it's completely known to everyone in the Southeast Europe Championship, Zello, 21 kills.
Yeah, he is nothing secret about him, hey Mike? He's quite loud in his approach. Not afraid of taking a fight, that's for sure. What a player to watch. Always providing us with supreme entertainment. Looks like Skate are going to be setting up for a B fake here. Well, actually, the bomb is here, so we may even see a double fake. I'm not sure. There's still 2 players towards A. They've also got 1 in connector, so this is quite an interesting one coming out from Skate.
Zello's gone as well, so I mean, they can't rely on him to actually save them in this round. The rest of the players need to get the kills, and it's not happening at the moment. Although, as I say that, we're actually on 3 all, and Rugger somehow, all that aim punch, and still manages to get the kill, Matt.
Yeah, the problem is that they've left the B bomb side. Oh no, going for such an aggressive plant means that he's actually not going to be able to commit to it. Zoots also gets the information that it is in fact the B bomb plant. Oh, great angle from Raftu. He's able to find the double, and he actually gets the triple. Wow.
Raftu.
Very great sequence of kills coming through there from Raftu.
Yeah, that was really needed by Skate. I mean, he saved that situation for them. It was a 3v2 after that great shot from Raga from CT. And you just thought at that point, you thought at that point it would be easy, but what? He gets all of them.
Yeah, Raftu getting the whole kit and caboodle. 21 frags for Zello as well, so he had an explosive half, which is no surprise anymore. And 19 for Raftu, so yeah, adding 5 to his tally in that last round. And that means that Skade get the advantage heading into the second half. I think they needed that round, Mike.
Yeah.
Considering that they were the ones who controlled most of that half, a late flurry there from Nexus meant that, as you said, that momentum shifted back towards the Romanians. But with Skade just getting that last round of the half, sort of just slightly pulls it back into even keel.
Yeah, I think it's important to also regain the initiative, because when you have all the momentum and then it suddenly shifts to your opponents, and you move into another half, you can just continue to feel in that sort of losing mindset. You know,
yes.
You want to make sure that you have some recent sort of muscle memory of winning a round again. And
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy to say when a team's won a half 8-7, but they hadn't won for 3 rounds, and that can really affect your mentality. So I think for them, you know, if you'd said to them prior to the map that you could have 8-7 against Nexus, they'll probably say, yeah, that sounds great. We'll do that on T side.
Trying to figure out exactly whose map pick this was, because in the past both of these teams have liked to play this map, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was either one of theirs.
This is true. I actually, again, I would, if given this information before, not told who picked it, as has actually happened. But you know, I would have said either team could pick this map.
Yeah,
both of them are super comfortable in previous seasons. So Skaters, of course, the former B Pro lineup. They've got Rainwaker in there from Fate, the champions of Season 9. And Nexus with a much changed lineup. Let's see how they're going to go in this half. It's been exciting so far, Matt, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some more explosive, aggressive Southeastern European Counter-Strike, because it is all about those frags. Let's see what these guys can do.
Speaking of explosive and aggressive, that's exactly what the case is over at the A bomb site. Nexus making their way forward, using their smokes to block off stairs and jungle, and then taking control of CT off the back of a flashbang. One of my favorite pistol rounds on this map.
Well, they're going to go for CT control.
They are going to be going for the CT control to the back of the flash, but Skade are poised well to deal with this. They've got 3 players actually set up holding the angle. When do Nexus commit? You can see there's still 2 flashbangs on Zoots. One of them flies through and they actually trade frags back and forth. 3 versus 3 is the result, and Rocking, he gets the advantage for his team, but that advantage gets negated. Zoots doing a great job with the Glock. The support man using the flashes to get his team in position now has to close it out.
Ooh.
And he's doing a great job of just avoiding the fight. He takes off Rocking's head and wins the 1 versus 3.
Well, it's nice to see Zoots performing in that particular engagement. I mean, we haven't seen too much of this player, so we're going to learn about him as we go along. But I think what we learned from him there is he's very willing to do what's needed to help his team get into the bomb site. He went as the pack animal, and then you know, with all the flashes and smokes and you know, kitchen sinks and such things, and then he still closes it out. So Great work from Nexus, and that brings us into an even kill, as you were saying earlier on, 8-all.
8-all indeed, and a force buy from Skate to try and get straight back into this. They don't want to allow Nexus to gain some sort of an advantage. They've got the Scouts, a couple SMGs, and 2 Desert Eagles to work with, but Nexus have made the perfect call in the round as they just take control of the B-bomb side. And if I was Skate at this point, I would immediately just be calling for the save to take these 4-stop weapons into the next round. The likelihood of making a retake is very low right now, especially considering what a stronghold Nexus have on this round.
Well, that being said, Rainwaker's got other ideas, Matt.
Yeah, he finds himself a swift double, and all of a sudden that actually blows the door open on the round, wide open. Let's see if they're going to be able to capitalize on that. As I say that, though, Zelo makes quick work of them, and I think that the save call probably would have been the better one in that instance.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's always as a team, if you get a quick couple of kills, even in a situation that's disadvantageous for you on the retake, it maybe encourages you to go for it.
Exactly.
But if you're in that sort of disadvantage when it comes to weaponry, it's very, very hard to bring it back, especially if your method of entry into the site is through apps. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, and if you think about it, what are the chances of them actually making that retake happen? Very slim, right? And if they do just pull into the to save those weapons, and they have the 4-stop weapons to work with in this round, they don't just have some P250s and a CZ. It looks a lot better for them, and they're still able to buy in the next round. So that's sort of the school of thought that I would go with in that scenario.
Agreed. Interestingly, Rainwaker's actually got the amount of money he would need to buy an AWP, rather than Denny's Law.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of a better economy management there coming through from Fate.
We did see him on the double AWP, though, in Fate, so I wonder.
Yeah. Gonna have to find out. I am the man with with the job of finding out whether there's a stack over at this B-bomb site or not. So he's just tentatively making his way forward. And I like the way that Nexus are approaching this right now, just sending players around the map. Raga, he's waiting for that information before he pulls the trigger. Is there a second frag on offer? And now Nexus realize that the B-bomb site is completely vacant, so they're going to be rotating the bomb across. And that next buy round is going to be very important for Skade, because if Nexus start to run away with this, they may be able to gain control of that economy, and they're going to be getting close to 16.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't want to let them get too much space on you. And I think if you're Skade right now, maybe just try and hold on to what you have, in the sense of don't give them more money.
Yeah, the economy already looking good on these Nexus players. So if this SMG finds a couple of frags, well, that's certainly going to be gravy. And you can see there's a surge coming here. These guys, they want these frags. They want the money in the bank. That's exactly what they're getting right now. It just feels like we've consistently for the past 2 seasons been somewhat disappointed from Nexus, just because we've expected so much from them, and rightfully so, because we know how much potential they have. And I really hope that this is the season where we actually see them meeting that potential.
Absolutely agreed. I mean, they were rampant in Season 7, by far and away the best team. And then since then, we've just seen the flashes of brilliance from Zelo, some great individual players out of other names. But, you know, Zelo's the one you always remember, and it always feels like it's kind of the Zelo show and everybody else sort of trying their best to help him out and not quite succeeding at it. And a lot of it, I think, has got to do just with the
buy around here for Skate, and they've got that AWP. It is on Denny's Law as well there, Mike, just to note. So nothing changing too dramatically in the way of roles, bringing in Rainwaker.
I think the nice thing about bringing in one player is it doesn't completely change everything about your team. It will have a big effect for sure, but often it can be a positive effect because you're not having to, you know, change every aspect of your CT and T sides. You can just kind of slot the player into where the other guy was for now. Maybe just shift another player around it, but it doesn't require completely changing things. Like if you for instance bring in 2 players, like we saw Skate or B Pro did last season, where they underwent a lot of changes before the season and in the middle of the season, which I'm sure disrupted their chances. Yeah, the lineup's much more set. Oh, Denny's Law, jeez, he got set flat in his back there, man.
Yeah, what a great shot there from IM, just swinging out, timing that shot perfectly. And now, Skate, they have a decision to make. Where do we rotate? Where do we emphasize our defense? And it looks like they are doubling back towards the A-bomb side. Zelo, he's just leading the charge straight into jungle, takes Zix's head clean off, and now it's a 2-man advantage for Nexus as they take control of the A-bomb side. Still, the plant hasn't come through just yet. Where is that bomb coming up ramp at the moment? 22 seconds left, and Skade, they're actually finding a quick flurry of frags. Raftu finding the double.
Rocking, he
Can the
seems to smell a rat, and well, he's not going to smell much more after his head got blown off, man.
Yeah, that is such an awkward fight to try and take as the CT coming through Murder Hole, and I am the man who started things. He's going to be ending it here once again. Great job from him to find that entry frag over at the B bomb site and get across all the way over at A and still have an emphasis in the post plant. It's so often we'll see teams in that position, or rather players in that position where IM was, where he just continues to commit to B. He feels like he's got his job done finding the frag, but I am realizing that there's still more for him to do in the round.
Well, we get to see a little bit of Ragger's AWP skills in this game. We get to make maybe somewhat of a judgment on his abilities, and that's an unfair sort of thing to compare him to Zello. We know how good he is. But they wouldn't have brought him in if they didn't believe in him, and certainly Nexus needed some changes. And that last round, though, that nearly went very, very badly wrong after a huge advantage for them. And I almost felt like I was seeing the Nexus vault there for a few seconds.
Yeah.
But as you pointed out, I am playing the percentages, and he actually rotated around and helped them win the round on A, whereas I think Nexus of the past might have, IM would have probably pushed forward on B and died or something like that.
Yeah, but in that same breath, just watching them, the way that they're approaching this anti-eco round sort of gives me a bit of hope, Mike, because they're actually just sitting back, posting, waiting for some aggression, not just pushing into a B exec or an A exec very aggressively. And look at what it's netted them. It's netted them an anti-eco, and they've only lost one player. It seemed like it was always one of the most difficult things for them to combat were anti-eco rounds, because they just wanted to play aggressively, and that played into the hands of the pistols on their opposition.
Quite so. Looking at the scoreboard, 121 ADR and Zello 20. Let's see if Skade can hit back. Denny's Law already dropped a little low. He's the one with the AWP. He was so impressive in the previous season.
Rainmaker has some more as well. Yeah, completely agree with you. He certainly did set the stage on fire with his AWPing. We're going to be seeing an aggressive hit into this B bomb side. Rainmaker misses his first shot, and he's not going to be able to get it out alive. Denny's Law has already taken the angle though, and he finds a frag on the cross. Zix also responding as he gets himself into the B bomb side. And Skade, they're in a position to shut this one down. They just need to find these frags now, and that's exactly what Zix is doing. Going huge as he picks up a double. Ragga trying to make it happen with the P250, and he's going to reduce it down to the 1 versus 1. BTN, the in-game leader, tasked with taking down the AWP of Denny's Law, and he's going to be able to do it up close and personal. Denny's Law was so low, and that was such a tough position for him to try and work from.
Especially on that sort of angle with how long that gun is, it sticks around the corner and announces your presence. It's so difficult for you to be able to peek there and take somebody down if you're on low HP. Typically in that sort of scenario, if you're on 100 HP, you're going to take a few bullets before you get the shot off. It's just, I think that was mission impossible there, Matt. That he was never going to win that. And, well, BTN and Co, well, they win the round, and they're in a strong position here to close this one out. This should be their round, but let's see.
Yeah, should be their round. Nice little trade there in Palace from Skade, getting proactive in their eco round. And they're able to take an AK, so that's decent for Rainwaker to take into the rest of the round. But Nexus looking great here on their T half, actually yet to drop a round. 6 consecutive so far, and they should make it 7, hypothetically speaking. I like the way that Rainwaker's rotated across with this AK there, having an impact on middle, and he's going to land a nice first shot down to BT and doesn't expect Zello to be so close. Now it becomes very awkward for him. He's going to get mollied up, but he's still actually able to find that frag. Great job from Rainwaker, picking up the triple in the round, and he actually leaves his teammates in a winnable position now with that one-man advantage. The problem, though, is that these two Nexus players, they've got heavy hitting weapons right now, the AK and the AWP. But look at that. Oh, he's pushing so fast. Nick Zix. And he still gets a frag. I thought that he was dead for all money. I'm not sure how IM actually didn't hear him. And there's no ways that Ragga actually expects another player to be here at the van. That may actually have been the play for Zix to just push forward fast like that and try and bait Nexus into a false sense of security to just push freely into B, where Rocking lay waiting.
Yeah, that was a very big don't try this at home, kids, because typically in that scenario, you don't want to push off a bomb site and get aggressive and give your life away. But there it worked for them perfectly, and I do wonder whether that was maybe a call like, Zix, go look for information. We're waiting on the bomb site.
Yeah.
It worked out wonderfully.
That's probably the line of thought that they were implementing there. Anyway, Ragga already tagged down to 21, and Skade, they get themselves on the board here in the least likely fashion. An eco round is where they win their first on the CT side, so they're going to have to build on that. Raftu, he's got a job here. low HP for Raga. He should be able to net this frag. Oh, again. He's able to find that opening over at B. But his teammate's not really able to get across with the bomb. In fact, it looks like he wants to push towards A.
Well, this is really disjointed out of Nexus, and it's going to be down to the timing. BTN doesn't shoot at him, and that's actually good thinking on the in-game leader. Yeah, very smart. That means he should be able to get the bomb plant free and clear. And let's see if they can link up here, these two Nexus players. I am still somewhere towards the middle.
Yeah, he's actually gotten into ladder room, which could be quite a potent position, and it looks like Skate are still convinced that it's B, Mike. They haven't realized that the bomb's actually been planted over at A, and it's going to take a while till the penny drops because all of the players are making their way forward so slowly. Rocking is also so far away, he's going to have to run through lowers, and IM is getting a wealth of information from the audio cues. In fact, Rocking knows that he's still somewhere in the vicinity, and IM's going to be able to shut him down with ease. Now focusing his attention towards the A bomb side. BTN, he hasn't even had to activate yet. He's still sitting on the ramp, and there's no time left. Denny's Law lands the shot, and Raftu does as well.
Does he have it,
And
Matt?
in fact,
I think he does.
oh my word, he has enough time to get the defuse. Can you believe it? Skate
No, I
somehow
can't.
by the skin of their teeth win the round.
I can't believe that one. Nexus had that on lockdown. I thought it was such a smart call from BTN to plant over towards A. Made sure that he made no noise and gave them that clue. And it took so long for Skate to get over. You just had to feel there as soon as Rocking goes down there in middle that it's almost, well, I mean, it's done. But it wasn't.
Yeah, that was a huge turn of events. Skate doing a fantastic job. Raftu, he's having a great game so far. And Denny's Law also with some high impact frags. That AWP certainly coming to life. I like the choice here from Nexus to just go for the straight A execute.
Keep
Just
the
gonna be
pressure
trying
on.
to, yeah, keep the pressure on, keep it nice and base. Actually able to find an angle through that smoke.
Jeez, that's a lot of nade damage on Raga.
Yeah, that is, but it's the frags are still going the way of Nexus as they have a one-man advantage. A couple smokes for Skate to try and make this retake happen with, but that's all they're going to have in their arsenal. No flashes to allow them to make their way forward. IM is actually going to swing wide, trying to trade out his teammate, but Denny's Law was watching the angle like a hawk. And now it's the one-man advantage in favor of Skade. And you can see BTN, he's wrapping around through Connector. He's the linchpin right now. He needs to activate to try and take down these players. Zello's able to find one before he goes down. And Rocking's going to pick up the double. The IGL takes the responsibility on his own shoulders and wins the round for his team.
Another much needed round for Skate in a situation that didn't favor them, and they're making a bit of a habit of this, Matt.
Yeah, they are actually, and that's going to be giving them some confidence and momentum, which they actually shouldn't be having right now. And what does that do to Nexus as well? It's just like time and time again, these rounds that should be theirs, they're not closing out.
Yeah, well, 13 to 11, it's drawn a lot closer. Nexus now going for the full up B rush. They're going in with the Tech 9s. You don't see a lot of Tech 9s these days, but let's see. Maybe they can make it work for themselves. They lose the first frag and lose the second, in fact. Now in a very tough spot. IM, what can he do? He can do nothing but die.
Yeah, and this is going to become a little bit frustrating now for Nexus because they've tried a couple of different things. They went for the straight up A exec. They've gone for the fast B. Their control play in middle got shut down in that buy round not too long ago. So now they're going to have to try one of those strategies again, which actually hasn't worked out in recent times.
Yeah, this is not where you go from being in a really advantageous position to second guessing yourself because everything that you're trying isn't working. And I don't think it's necessarily that they're doing the wrong thing. It's just Skate have been turning around situations that were against them. It was some strong individual plays that were saving them as opposed to anything specific that you can point to. Denny's Law can point his gun at Raga, as it turns out.
Yeah, nice shot there from him to open up the round. He certainly has come alive with that AWP.
Just to let you guys know, our observer has told us that we can tell you guys that he's drunk.
Oh.
Just kidding, just kidding.
He's just having one of those days, right?
Our first day of the season, starting a little slow, you know, as are we. We'll get into it as we go. Apologies for the stuck camera there. Hopefully we'll sort that out. It won't happen again.
So, Skade once again finding the successful opening frag in the round. I'm a massive fan of this boost, which is coming through from Nexus, but look at the flank from Rocking, Mike. He's getting so much information for free right now. He's actually going to push forward fast. He got the call. They're trying to boost up, and he's going to be able to find one. He doesn't get that second somehow. I'm not sure how, but somehow Zello is actually able to trade that frag out. And look at that, all of a sudden, these players are stepping up on an individual level. Zoots and IAM, they win their fights as well. 2 versus 2 is the result with 30 seconds left on the clock. Nexus, they're not in control of the bomb right now, and it's actually quite far away, Mike. Either if they make a move to get that, then they're going to have to go for the frags.
Oh!
Oh, wow! What a shot there from Zoots.
You can see he just stopped. He couldn't believe he got it himself, man.
But that was the only way that they were going to win the round. If he had not found that shot immediately, he didn't have enough time to get the bomb implanted. So he just got gifted that round on a silver platter.
Oh, jeez, he knew it as well. He knew he just had to straight up peek and orbit long range, which you should never do, by the way, kids.
Yeah.
That's another don't try this at home. But, well, Zoots is super skilled, and he's certainly showing why he's in this team.
Nexus, they want to try and drive this advantage home now. Again, going towards the A execute. Mac 10 on BTN, and no money in the bank for either of these teams. So a very important round here in the greater scheme of things. Utility starting to rain in, flashes coming over the top, entries start to make their way forward, but Skade, they're putting emphasis on actually defending the bomb site. They don't want to make the retake happen, they just want to maintain control, and that's exactly what that triple kill from Zix has enabled. Raga, though, still alive and kicking. Nice first frag from him, but he's getting flanked out, and it's just a matter of time before he gets taken down. Denny's Law is going to be the man to do the damage. 14-13, and no money for Nexus in the round.
Well, talk about laying down the law for Denny's Law. 20 kills. He's died quite a bit. I mean, he doesn't have a positive KD, but 20 is plenty in the game. It certainly helps your team, and they've actually got 3 players above the 20 mark in Rafty and Zix as well. So, Skate players are showing up here. Oh, through the fire actually is Raga there, hoping to maybe catch somebody off, but doesn't work out for him in the end. And Nexus here is surely going to give up the lead.
Yeah, I mean, they're actually going towards the B bomb site where Skade are playing retake at the moment. I don't see any universe in which Nexus can even control the post plant, and in fact, they're going to be trying to fight Rainwaker on the cross, so he's able to take down 2 of them for free.
I think Zello's probably
for a moment that Nexus might be able to get into that B bomb site and at least find a plant, but that has been swiftly shut down.
A form of plant going on, a whole bunch of bodies planted around the window there, but...
Yeah, BTN desperately wishing he had the bomb right now. He was all the way over at A by himself.
Yep, you can see all the bodies there. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Okay, so we're going to have another buy round here, and what an important buy round it is, more so for the likes of Nexus than for the likes of Skade, because when you look at the money, if Nexus lose this, they probably lose the game, Mike.
Either see the best out of a team or we'll see them fold. What manner of a team are the new look Nexus? We're going to find out.
Using quite a lot of their utility in the early stages of the round here, and look at the aggression coming through from Raftu, and he's actually going to get caught off by Zoots. Skade have been trying some of sporadic aggression around the map, particularly towards that B apps. This time Nexus were ready and waiting, and now they have that early advantage. It's actually been a while since they found that opening frag.
Yeah, they need to actually capitalize on this. They need to get the kills. Rainwaker, though, stays alive here, and he gets one. Could he get another? He does. He's been so good at getting the multis, and they're getting all the kills, man.
No, that is not how the story is supposed to go right now. They actually have to push through a smoke at ramp because they know that their teammates are dying on the A bomb side. And Zix was just sitting on the other side waiting, welcoming them with arms wide open, and now Raga is the only player remaining as he makes his way onto the A bomb side. He just wants the bomb at this point, but I don't even think he can even stand a chance of finding a plant. He gets one frag, but it's Skade he gets to map point first here.
Wow,
like I said, not enough money for a full buy here for Nexus.
Really enjoying this game, Matt. I gotta say, it's
Me
great
too.
seeing 2 teams smashing into each other and trying to tear each other limb from limb. The problem is, I think Nexus are running out of limbs at this stage, Matt.
Yeah, and running out of money for some orthopedic surgery as well.
Yeah, I am only on a Mac 10. He's gonna eat some nade damage as well, trying to cause somewhat of a ruckus here towards B and draw a rotation.
Doesn't look like Skade are biting though, and off the back of that Nexus, they're just going to go for the straight execute into the A bomb site, but they barely have any util. They don't have the weaponry either. They have to make it work with the deficiency, and that's a great first frag by Raga, and Zoots finds one as well, but Rainwaker, the man who was able to swing the pendulum back in his team's favor in the previous round, is the man to come through once again. and at least find a frag before that bomb goes down. What sort of angle do Skate approach this from? Is a lurker at the top of middle as well? He's actually going to get spotted out. I think Rocking would take a dink just for that information alone. Good decision from IM to back off.
It's got to be on Rainwaker though.
Yeah, it's absolutely on Rainwaker, and he's actually going to be able to find the frag, but the trade is there from Zello, and it looks like we're going to be going to overtime because Zello's able to find another, putting this Galil to fantastic use. Rocking the only player remaining, and not for much longer either. 15-15, Nexus make it happen.
Wow.
33 frags on Zello.
Jeez, in regulation, that's insane. If you look at the amount of frags across the board here, I mean, I don't know what the actual statistic is, but it doesn't look like a lot of players survived many of these rounds.
Yeah, there's been a lot of fragging going on so far, and it certainly has provided for an interesting spectacle. And
Yeah,
what a great game here on our first day of ESL Southeast Europe Championship Season 10, the opening match. And what more suitable way to get it going than here in overtime?
Absolutely. Shall we show them our faces very briefly?
I don't know. Am I even in frame?
Yes, you
there
are.
We go.
You're okay.
The rare occasion.
Well, hey guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll be heading into overtime very shortly. We just want to thank Vodafone and Pringles, and also they're not there, but Mercedes as well, one of the sponsors of ESL Southeast Europe Championship, and it's all about getting to Bucharest Game Week. You can see the logo there at the bottom, and it sounds like we're just about to head into it. Big numbers for Zello, but need BTN maybe to come to the party a bit more there, man.
Yeah, I think that certainly would aid Nexus's cause at this point. They're going to be starting off on the T side here in overtime. It looks like they may be wanting to shift things up a gear. Rocking in a sneaky position here in lows. He's going to get spotted out though by IM. It's all about checking that corner, because if you do, you're going to get the frag every single time. You're sort of relying. Look at the aggression coming through though from Zix in return, and how is he able to find that second frag onto Zello? Denny's Law, he finds 2 frags of his own, and Zoots realizing he needs to make a play off the back of that. He needs to find something in return, and now they know where he is, and unfortunately he didn't even get a pick in time. Rafter actually gifts himself up on a silver platter there. That was completely unnecessary, and Zoot still has time here.
Yeah, they do. 16-15. And that was so fast. I mean, sometimes we expect with overtimes for it to be a very long, extended game, but even with this game going to overtime, it has been fairly quick. So
8-7 halves, basically, obviously. Rainwaker with the AWP able to find one, and the aggression closing it out. All 5 players stay alive for Skate, and this is absolutely the ideal scenario for the Bulgarian side, formerly known as B Pro.
Well, they're showing themselves to be pretty pro at this point. Why change it, man?
Yeah, it has certainly looked good here in overtime for them. If they're able to win this third round, they guarantee themselves a second set of overtime, and they just need to win 1 round of that next half. So let's see if that's going to be the case.
The money already, obviously, in MR310k. Raga already fully invested. He's only on a Mac 10. Zello point, man. They need him to fire here, and fire he does, Matt.
Great shot there to take down Rafter, and this time Skate, they are going to have to commit to the retake. Zix looks for a spray down through the smoke, and he's actually able to find one. Does a bit of damage to BTN as well. Denny's Law dunking, but it's all on Raga as he times his flank perfectly, taking down Denny's Law, and that secures the one-man advantage for Nexus. BTN looking to drive that home, and Nexus, they are able to get something in this first half of overtime.
Exactly what they needed there, Matt. That was so crucial for Nexus to bring himself back into this one, because as you said, if Skate got that third round, they guarantee an overtime, even if Nexus will win all 3 in the next half. So the one, at least, Nexus are competitive. Probably still, if anything, will be playing for a second overtime, but we'll see. Skate looked good in that one, though, hey?
Yeah, Skate did look very good there. Seemed like they were just able to knuckle down as soon as overtime began. Nexus took a bit longer to rise to the occasion, but they did in the end. Winning that 1 round gives them a buffer at least. 19 is the magic number right now that both of these teams are hunting for.
Oh, I just thought it was the magic number in general. I was going to go play the lottery. Just 19, 19, 19. No, okay.
Yeah, that's not normally how it works, but let me know how that comes through for you. We got an AWP on both sides here. Denny's Law on the T side with his AWP. We didn't see Nexus employing an AWP on their T side, so clearly a different train of thought. Oh, and he actually tried to find an aggressive angle, but Raga was the player who had that angle on lockdown. Rocking trading the AWP out, and he's actually going to be able to make up for Denny's Law's misfortune there.
Oh, well, it's very finely poised at this point, Matt. 4v4. And that AWP is already off the board here for Nexus. Again, we don't know too much about Rago as a player, but he's looked pretty impressive. Hasn't had the AWP as much as he probably would have hoped in this game, though.
This is interesting from Nexus. BTN smoking off ramp while IM is actually on top of the pot plant, and you can see Rocking is creeping his way forward. And he's actually, even though IM spotted him out first, going to be able to come out with the frag. That secures a one-man advantage off the Skade. And it looks like they're going to continue to push towards the say bomb site. The rotations have come through from Nexus, so they're actually in a pretty good position to defend the site.
BTN, you're burning, bud. Get out of there. Oh, he doesn't manage to get up. Rocking gets a kill as well, and suddenly Nexus are eviscerated.
Wow.
That kill from Rocking, Matt. He's not an AWPer, is he?
No, not by normal terms. He's able to get a quad kill on the round though, standing up in overtime. The IGL again taking the responsibility on his shoulders and coming up huge there. He hasn't had the best game so far, but certainly some high impact frags there from him.
Oh, I thought Danny's Lord had that one. He legs him, in fact. BTN not having a lot of luck here on this one, man. Had that one clutch, and I think since then that's the only action we saw him take that actually won around.
I don't think he's really been much of a fragger though. His value truly does come from his leadership in this team, it would appear. I mean, he has his moments, but consistently he is on the lower side of the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see if he can be a factor in this round, because they're going to need it. 19 is what Skade need, and they're already in a very good position to close this one out. Nexus on the CT side, yeah, and they're already running out of nades. Obviously a little bit on the skittish side, of course, and understandably so when you're staring down the barrel of a potential loss for your opening map of the championship. So
yes.
At this point, they need a frag, Matt.
It was Skade who got to map point first in regulation time. So let's see if they're going to be able to close out the map here. It always sucks when you do get to map point first and you go on to lose the map. And it's actually going to be heavy emphasis on the connector / sniper player. It may even go for the boost up. No, just going to push 4 players straight through connector and try and overwhelm the A defense. 1-for-1 traders, they make their way through jungle. IM, the next point of contention. He's just trying to stay alive for as long as possible right now.
Oh, Zello still peeks through the fire there, gets the kill. Doesn't take any damage, but Raftu, he's dealing all the damage. And suddenly we're in a 1v2. That was such a quick kill from Denny's Law, man. I am 10 HP in a dream and no HP through the box.
What? That's just downright dirty, Danny's Law. What a way to close out a 1 versus 1. To have the balls to just spam the box like that when you can actually get peeked at any moment is very impressive. What a turnaround there, Skade. Go on to close out the map.
Wait, are we doing this Mac versus PC thing?
Guess so.
Then I am the Mac of the chips.
Cool. Then I'm the PC.
Perfect for gaming. Easy to eat.
No greasy hands.
Wait, I'm into gaming too.
You mean like into the keyboard crumbled?
No.
Or into the TeamSpeak rustling?
No, I'm into that noob frag LOL thing.
Well then, GG, my friend.
What?
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
I lost myself today trying to find ways to make you stay. Sarah, I want to go away, close my eyes, never wake up again. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low, but I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's Molly for the melancholy. Cody, fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. So far from close. It's so hard to find my destiny. Try not to drift apart, 'cause you'll be right back at the start. And I don't wanna keep on falling. I gotta stay recalling memories we've lost and found. Explain to me what it's all about.
Well, I do declare, Mr. Beauregard. No, wait. Your name's Hayes. I'm Extremes. This is ESL Southeast Europe Championship Season 10.
Oh man, I was wondering where you were going to go with that one. Skade versus Nexus, map number 2. Skade have a 1-0 advantage in the series at the moment after closing it out in overtime, 19-16. This is their map pick as well, Mike. That was Nexus's playground, and they were able to steal the show.
Yeah, well, it was ultimately about stealing it, though, wasn't it? Because, well, it was as close as you like, and I do wonder whether it's going to be just as close on this one.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it wasn't. I remember Nexus were great on Inferno as well. Zello was great on Inferno, but Zello's great on all maps, so I suppose that's not really a fair comparison.
He's great even on the unranked scrim maps. I mean, he's just good.
Just give that man a gun.
Pretty much.
Nexus on the CT side, Skade on the T side. Let's see what they've got in store for the pistol round. Looks like it's going to be very aggressive up Banana. In fact, all 5 of those T players are pushing straight onto the B bomb side, and they've actually been able to force the lone defender IM off the side. Just straight up tapping through the smoke. He comes up lucky, and that one-man advantage could go a long way. And Nexus, look at how how aggressive they are on the flank. But they run straight into Rocking, and Rocking seems to be unmovable as he picks himself up a double before he goes down. 2 huge frags. Denny's all rooted in at the back of the bomb site. He knows there's a player there at oranges, and he's going to be able to tap him away, is he? We're going to have to find out soon. It's Raftu who's doing the tapping at the moment, and he picks himself up a triple.
Wow, Raftu there with some very crucial frags in the context of the round. 1-0 for Skade. Exactly the start they would have wanted. And, well, with that Nexus rotation being so quick, you almost thought they had a shout of it in that retake. B bomb site is a pretty tough one to take back, especially in a pistol round where there's no such thing as utility. It's all about those fights, and it is up close and personal against Glocks. It's going to be a bit tough.
Yeah, Skade come out on top in that first pistol round, get themselves on the board. We do see a force buy here from Nexus. I am a big fan of this on the CT side after losing the pistol. Personally, I do prefer more emphasis on smoke grenades, but when Zoots is landing shots like that, then utility doesn't make much of a difference. He gets himself the quad kill with the Desert Eagle. Finally, he's going to go down to Denny's Law, but the damage has been done. 1 versus 3 here for Denny. I don't even know if this is plausible at this point. There's an AK for him. There's so many guns, he should be throwing them on the roof at this point, just to try and deny these rotators any opportunity at finding a weapon. Denny still has so much time left here, but he's been boxed in. No way for him to get out of this A bomb side area.
And having all that time is both a blessing and a curse, because you know you got the time to make the play, but the problem is, on the flip side, you know they've got the time to do something sneaky and just catch you off guard, so you're just so aware. And you can see he's planting extremely safe, because he's very worried that there's a player close to him. Now they're going to be converging on his position. They need to time this well to catch him off here, otherwise he might end up with 1v1s, but no, perfectly timed there from IM to peek as soon as Rag has taken the fight, and that's easy as you like, and it's all courtesy of Zoots. Man, that was exciting. I hope you can see that replay.
That was a crazy quad kill with the Desert Eagle. I thought after the triple that he was done, but he even goes on to get the 4th with a crispy headshot. And that was a high-octane Desert Eagle play right there.
That's not something you can put money on. You couldn't tell him to go and do that again. I mean, it's just like, it's almost an impossible thing that he pulled off there, man.
Yeah. That's what thousands of hours and thousands of bots lead up to. That moments like that.
Absolutely, that nade should do some big damage. Oof,
Oh.
Danny's Law. He eats it.
Yeah, it took a lot of damage from the fire as well. So Skate have been able to get up to the choke point there at the top of Banana. And they haven't lost any lives. They've got some firepower with those SMGs. Going to be looking to overwhelm these players on the B bomb site. 2 smokes and a flash. 2 flashes and a smoke to work with. There's a boost up here, and this is actually a small window of opportunity for Skade because both of these players could be shut down by a smoke, and that's the case as the players start to push forward. And then that is a fantastic little passage there from Skade as they trade both of those frags, leaving it in a 3 versus 3 as they plant the bomb. All of a sudden, they're actually in a pretty good position. And Raga, he's going to get baited out here by Rafty, but he considers the bait and switch, and he's absolutely right to consider that. Rafty should get overwhelmed here, and he's going to get taken down, leaving Zix in the 1 versus 2. He looks to try and take the fight to his opposition, but that ends up leading to his demise, and Nexus are able to make the retake happen.
That got a bit too close for comfort. I do think the retake was pretty nicely on point. It could have been an issue that all three of them were coming from CT and they didn't actually have anyone banana, but it doesn't hurt them in the end. And in fact, just puts the players in the position to get the trades quite efficiently. So with a 2-1, Nexus will feel pleased. I don't think pleased in the sense that Skate, of course, denied them that first map, but pleased in the context of how it started. Yeah, and Skate actually still investing, Matt.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I suppose they felt like they did enough damage
All
in the
those
previous round
nades.
to the economy, but look how much damage has been done by the grenades. That was one of the AK carriers as well in the way of Rainwake. At least they can recycle that weapon, and you can see they were all frantically looking for it because, well, everybody wants an AK if you don't have one.
I want an AK. I don't have one.
Just feels good, man. Looks like Skate. They have to commit to the B exec, yeah. They just don't have any other options on the table. And that's why they're going to be moving out as a unit, because they don't have anything else to sort of just fall back on. They need to now create another opportunity. 2 smokes. No, that's a flashbang. Okay, so 1 smoke and a flashbang to work with to try and get onto this A-bomb site.
Sometimes in the heat of the moment, does look a little similar in tiny little cylinders. Meanwhile, they're going to be trying to fire on all cylinders. They've only got 4 of them left, though. It was a Volvo. One of the cylinders is broken.
They're actually gotten themselves into a pretty good position here, and this is the smoke they're going to be looking to use. That chicken comes in to actually give Dennyslaw a bit of an opportunity to come through the apartments, and he's going to find the frag. BTN looking to try and mop up the backline as he comes through with the quick rotation, and he's able to get rocking there, which means that all 3 of these players from Skate are now restricted to the bomb site. At least they've got some crossfires to work with, but this is not an ideal post-plant position that these players find themselves in right now.
Too. Doesn't
But it's
actually
actually
go
not
over the
going to
box.
be reaching any of the players, and surely Nexus don't anticipate all 3 players to be on the site right now. IM draws first blood on the retake. He's going to continue to push forward. He gets Raftu, and then now...
Than the first kill because it took the bullet instead of the player.
Yeah!
Turns out
that was hilarious.
yeah, it was really funny. I thought that might actually have a big effect on the round, which would have been Reddit worthy, I say. But in the end, actually, they don't win the round despite the clutch chicken.
Yeah, the chicken, he tried his best to swing the odds, but unfortunately it doesn't work out, and finally Skade gonna bite their lip and go for the save.
Yeah, I think maybe they needed to do that a bit sooner, but you could see the idea, trying to keep the economic pressure on, and it's worth doing in the early rounds against the CTs, because if you do manage to catch them in one round, then you put them in such a tough position. And, well, it doesn't work out for them in the end, but they're on the pistols. Let's see if they can make the pistol buy work. There's the opener. Zoots is going to have to come in here and get some kills. He's got his teammate on the angle as well. That's Rugger. He gets the double. Could even end up with a triple here as well, and in fact does. Nice crisp headshot on the fadeaway there.
Yeah, great series of rounds here for Nexus to be picking up after losing that pistol. This is exactly what you want when you've got aggression coming through from the pistols, just getting shut down at the choke points, not really allowing them to close that gap and get in your face. Now we've got the proper buy. The first full buy round actually of Inferno. Generally doesn't take 6 rounds to reach this point, but because of those force buys, it's taken a bit longer than usual.
Trading some nades here, and actually...
Oh no! Oh, I thought he threw it too far, and
I thought so
sometimes it
too.
actually only extinguishes half of the fire.
Oh, that's so unfortunate when it happens. Thankfully not in this case. Nexus, though, take a fair bit of nade damage from just a single HE. Skate do have upper banana control, so they have a staging area to themselves. It's always important to make sure that you take that control as a tease. And it gives you a lot of room to maneuver on this map, because it just means that those CTs are restricted. They can't actually get aggressive unless they try to retake, and that's going to cost them nades.
Exactly. Not many nades left to work with for either of these sides right now. Skade using a few of their pieces to have some presence towards that A bomb site. Perhaps try and draw a rotation across. Still, though, 2 players sitting firmly at this B bomb site, and there's still a smoke there for IM, which has just been dropped. That's another 17 seconds. That's going to be chomping into the time that Skade have to work with here.
Well, that does slow them down. They're actually going to execute through the smoke, Matt. In they go. Everybody flash, but the kill's coming in for IM, and then finally Rainwaker with the reply.
Yeah, huge double spray down there for Rainwaker. He absolutely needed that just to bring those numbers back into even contention as well. Raga, though, been able to get into a forward position on this retake means he gets a frag for free. Denizor is going to be his next target, but the target has now turned into the aggressor. One-man advantage here for Nexus as they start to make their way forward, looking for their 5th consecutive round. Zoots finds Raptor, and it's going to be an easy shot for Raga. Really nice team play. They're working off of one another as they pushed onto the A bomb site simultaneously, rather than the B bomb site.
I do think the team play, as you highlighted there, has been a feature for Nexus tonight that maybe we weren't seeing in previous seasons because they were extremely individualistic. And I mean, here actually Zello's got no kills, Matt, and they're in the lead because they're playing together. It's actually, well,
Yeah.
mind equal blown.
What an awesome spectacle that is, though, right? I mean, that must be a big sigh of relief for Zello. And look at the aggression here, looking to try and change the pace up and see if they can catch any of these CTs off guard. They've actually got the boost over half wall, but Nexus immediately pulled the plug. Just to go back to what I was saying, I mean, how good do you think Nexus, or rather Zello, is feeling right now? I mean, obviously he wouldn't be great being 0 frags, but the fact that his team is 5-1 up means that it's not born off of him carrying them to this point.
Yeah, that's always been the case, though, from what we've seen. It's just been Zello going absolutely ballistic. Some of the others needing to jump in. I mean, in previous seasons there was Cemente who's over in agility. We'll see him in the next game. Meanwhile, there's the reply from Rocking. And he might even get the second. No, IM denies him. That early frag from Raga was pretty nice with the AWP. But it
Yeah.
still, thankfully for them, they maintain that advantage despite Rocking's best efforts. I almost thought he would get the double there. IM probably did too.
Going to be wrapping onto the same bomb side. Zix is actually in a good position right now. There's only 2 players here for Nexus, which means that Skate do have that one-man advantage, and both of these players, they're rooted on the bomb side, which makes it very tough for them. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Denizor is going to be taking both of them down. At least Zoots was able to find one, which means it is a 2 versus 2 retake here. Zello and IM, the 2 B players.
Oh, that smoke could be the death knell of this one. They're going to have to push it, man.
Double molly there as well. Unfortunately, not much communication coming through from them. They could have used one of those mollies elsewhere. They've got that boost, but Zix, he spots the head and he destroys the head. Denny's going to be closing it out here off the back of that flashbang. And Skade with some nice heads-ups play there. Good mid-round call coming through to rotate back to the A-bomb side. I love the split as well from Zix coming through archers. That's what allowed for those players to find so much success coming up from N1.
Absolutely, and the call was exactly when it was needed as well, because of course if they delayed by even 5 seconds they wouldn't have had that numbers advantage. So it was really important that they actually go together and they push quickly as opposed to delaying. Oh, Rocking, don't delay in putting that one out. And oh, those nades might find him. Oh, 6
wow.
HP. Jeez, he's so lucky there, Matt.
Yeah, he thought he was getting out of dodge from swapping from the one side to the other, and he caught 2 grenades. Look at the aggression here from Rafty, who's going to catch Raga off guard. And they're just going to continue to surge forward here. Though Zello, he might actually have perfect timing to shut the play down. It takes quite long to find the first, but much quicker on the second. He still has a job to do here as he takes the duel with Rafty, and he comes out on top of that as well. 3 frags with 1 clip from Zello. And it wasn't going to take long for him to start to find his stride, Mike. It's just a matter of time for the likes of players like Zello.
Definitely not. He should be on for a 4th year as well.
Wow,
Zello's
what a
so
round from him.
reliable. And it's just
His
amazing.
first 4 frags, eh?
First 4 frags is a quad kill. I mean, this guy is... What? We just gush about him. I think both you and I, we admit it. We are Zello fans. We'll say we're not always fans of Nexus, but definitely fans of Zello.
Yeah, it's hard not to be a fan of Zello.
Look at him as well. I mean, he goes for the kind of fight where you'd tell most players, like, don't do that. He knows exactly where you are. You shouldn't fight him. Leave him alone. Keep the advantage. Zello don't care, though. I mean, he wins those fights.
Jimmy Jazzy the First. calling you out. Got another buy round here for Skate, but they don't have much to work with here. If Nexus are able to win this one, they can really start to push this one home in the first half.
There's the kind of distance between the 2 teams now that we didn't actually see on the previous map as well. So it's somewhat of an unfamiliar situation in this game. Of course, they've all played Counter-Strike before. They've seen this situation before, but it's just in the context of the game. it's really going to be a sigh of relief for Nexus to have some space between themselves and Skade, because that's definitely not been the case at any point. Skade, though, they've got other plans. Danny's Law coming in with the kill, Zella with the trade, and he actually gets behind the smoke there. Gets out of dodge.
Yeah, I love the way that Denny's Law used that Mac 10, using its strength to his advantage. Zix pushing through the smoke of the back of a flashbang, catches Zella completely blinded up. And now Skade have a one-man advantage in the post plant. This is a very difficult retake if Nexus are going to have a crack at it. Bit of damage done to Nix as he was left slightly open there. Nice angle from Rocking, using the fountain to cover his position, and I think that Nexus should just be looking to get out of dodge here and save these weapons. They don't have any money to work with to take into the next round. There is still a kit on these players, and they're able to find the frags. Oh my word, Rainwaker's the only player remaining, and he's going to get taken down by Zoots. He's got just enough time to find the defuse as well, Mike. I thought that they may actually consider the save, but they go further. They go way further. They win the round. They make that retake a possibility. And straight away, Skade call a tactical timeout. That should have been the Bulgarians' round for all money.
It was a 4v2, man. That was their round. You can't buy a better situation than that. You can't ask for a better situation than that. And they still lost it. I mean, it was less than 40 HP, I think, on BTN as well. And they still go for the retake. I mean, BTN, in theory, the weakest player. And they still win a 4v2. That's just insane.
Yeah, that's got to be a massive blow to Skade. I mean, if you're not closing out rounds like that, that's certainly going to be making your life a lot more difficult.
Absolutely. Also good to see the two new players, Zoots and Raga, up there at the top of the scoreboard for Nexus. Just again reinforcing that storyline you were saying, where we've been saying so consistently in the previous seasons, please, 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 somebody help Zello.
Yeah.
And, well, he's getting that help now. They didn't win the previous map, but still, within the game itself, I think it bodes well for their season. And I do think Skade are probably the best team in the championship, despite the fact that they're not actually the champions. We still got Fates around, we've still got Blue Jays around.
Yeah. Of course, both of those teams are looking slightly different now than they did in the previous season, with Madden moving on to Smash. What an awesome story that is.
Oh, that's
and
so cool.
He's fully supported by his teammates as well, which is exactly what you want to see in those sort of scenarios. They couldn't actually be happier for him, although it's a bittersweet, of course, with him leaving the team, considering how successful they've been. But to see one of their brothers go on to the big time, they're really happy for him, and I think that's great.
Yeah, that is really awesome to see. Sometimes we do see a fair bit of backbiting in the scene, but thankfully it seems like that team was a bit of a happy family, which is great to see.
Of course, they are the runners-up, with Fate being the defending champions. Rainwaker moving across into Skade, so clearly he saw more value in this team than he did from his former teammates.
Yeah, that's quite a statement, I'd say, if you're the reigning champions and you actually choose to leave them to go to a new team.
Yeah, sort of like missed him to Sinister 5 for a South African reference. Of course, that doesn't carry much weight here in the Southeast Europe region. Skade looking to try and make their way across to the safe bomb site, but not much utility remaining for either of the teams, so it's going to be down to the frags, but there's not much time left here. Even though Rainmaker's getting frags over a feed, that's not going to account for much. BTN, he just needs to stay alive for as long as possible, trying to work with Zoots, Rocking, he's charging forward, and he's going to get the double spray down, and he's actually got enough time to find the plant as well. How did that unravel so quickly for Nexus? I thought they had done enough, but Rocking makes the magic happen, and now it's on Zello's shoulders in the 1 versus 2. He's charging forward. He knows where one of the two players are.
This is so tough for him to deal with that
for
shot.
The timing, and he's going to be able to land the headshot on the apex as he bobs himself up. What a huge round from the IGL once again.
He just decides, to hell with it all, I'm going to do it myself, and he does. That spray transfer, that was so crisp. I loved that, man.
Yeah, that was a huge spray transfer there, under pressure from Rocking as well. And look at what that's done to the economy of Nexus, Mike. They've gone for the force buy here, pistols across the board with armor. This could be the beginning that Skade required to get back into this half. If they can win the round, Nexus on an eco, all of a sudden it's 7-5, and all that hard work would have been undone.
Yeah, that could actually go out of control pretty quickly, and in they go. Oh, how did that happen? I am actually got a double there. He ran past the player at half wall. And what?
Wow,
Nexus?
Raga able to find one as well, and he gets himself out alive. No trade on offer.
Where did that nade go into? A black
Yeah.
hole, Matt?
Was wondering the same thing. Volvo, please fix HE grenades in this game.
Jeez, that was
BTN
weird.
realizing that the lifespan of that smoke was diminishing, so he gets himself out in time. Still, it is Skade who carry the advantage in this round, even though the numbers are towards Nexus. 2 AKs, utility, and armor for these two remaining Bulgarian players to work with. But then he's just going to walk straight into BTN's crosshair. Unfortunately, he got a little bit ahead of the smoke grenade, which means that Zix is now left in a clutch. Nice attention to detail from him just to get that AK out of reach, at least out of immediate reach. No catcher for either of these three remaining players. Or any of these three remaining players. Zix getting aggressive. He catches Zoot, who is just looking to try and line up a smoke, and he sees the remaining two players. Flashbang means he's going to be able to get Ragu for free, and it looks like BTN just wants to straight up stick with the fuse. What is he thinking, the madman? 10 seconds surely was always going to be an impossible prospect. Zix closes out the 1 versus 3 clutch.
That is a huge clutch for them, just considering where the game is at. 2 big clutches actually getting them across the line here. It was 7-2, it's 7-4, and it's down to a couple of individuals rocking in the previous round. And there's Zix in that last one. He really shouldn't have been able to win there, and I'm not really sure what those Nexus players were doing, but we were just talking about how they had such great teamwork, and in that one, maybe they were thinking they'd won the round already at 3-1.
Yeah. And that's a huge round win. As I was alluding to at the start of that round, the money in the toilet for Nexus. Somehow able to find the first frag of the round, and they're actually rotating an extra player across. Skade need to be careful here. Inferno can be one of the more difficult maps as the T side to go into your anti-eco rounds. Very narrow choke points for the pistols to try and find something, and you can see that Nexus, they're trying to take advantage of the back of that flash, but unfortunately they don't find anything further.
Well, they're about to smash into each other here with the counter rotation coming back towards this A bomb site. All depends on the timing. Surely they're going to hear the herd of stampeding elephants coming through the library.
Took a while for Zix's radar to set in to figure out where that player was, but eventually he does. Still, Nexus have been able to do a bit of damage in this round. I think they'll be content with 2 frags, forcing Skate to buy up those AKs and armor once again. I am hoping for the best, pushing through the smoke there, just gets taken down though. Skate, they find their 5th round. There's going to be another buy here for Nexus, but this game has been brought straight back into even playing field now. 3 consecutive rounds for Skate. And look at the money as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually fully invested. They got 50s left on them. They can't even afford dinner with that.
It depends where you are.
Oh yeah, here where we are in South Africa, you can afford the dinner of a king on $50.
Yeah, dinner for 2 in that case. Nexus, they need to win this round, Mike. They need to stop the rot. Can't allow Skate to continue to ride this wave of momentum, and it looks like they want to get aggressive in towards the A bomb site. There is a crossfire that's been set though, with BTN being that first point of contention, and he is able to find the frag and keep himself alive. This is looking a lot better for Nexus. Playing off of one another, shutting down Skate as they make their way through the choke points. BTN going to be able to find a second there through the narrow gap. And now it's on Dennis Law and Zix, the last 2 players in the round for Skate. And it looks like they're getting aggressively pushing straight through towards that B bomb site. This is actually a good play from them, considering it's going to be an even numbers playing field over at that B bomb site. And if they can even turn this into a plant, I think that would be a positive. No smoke to block off CT though, which means IM has free play. They went for the double swing, but they ended up pretty much lining up for him. And Nexus win the round, keeping all 5 players alive. That's going to bode really well for their economy.
Yeah, that was much needed as well. The momentum in the game had swiftly shifted rather decisively. I used a lot of big words there in succession. And it was looking like Skade might build more of an innings out of that one. 8-5 though, still a big turnaround for Skade. Still possible to get the 8-7 here.
Yeah, certainly is. This round's going to be telling if that's going to be a potential or not though. No money in the bank for Skade.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely take that, although, I mean, they would have almost been expecting that with how the half actually started for them. So Skade's done an incredible job to turn that around.
Completely agreed with you.
Rainmaker doing 2 jobs at a time.
Trying to line up a smoke while boosting his teammates, yeah.
Multitasking, I like it.
That, it's actually a bit of a fake towards the B-bomb site here from Skade, not committing anything but a bit of util and leaving Rocking in the corner, hoping that he may catch one of those CTs who may get a little bit lazy. Zix charging on. This is a very aggressive rotation here from Skate from that B to the A bomb side, and they're able to capitalize as they catch a couple of these players off guard. The BTN standing strong on this A bomb side once again. Surely he can't get another frag. Yeah, he does, as he takes down Raftu now to the USP. He's going to get a bit of chip damage onto Denny's door, but he's done so much work. And it's now on Raga left in the 1v2, makes it the 1v1, and he knows that Rocking's on the opposite side of the world right now as well. The bomb dropped in such an awkward spot. I don't even know if Rocking has enough time to retrieve it and plant it.
Raga's going to hear this surely. Behind
And
the
Rocking's
barrels.
gonna push straight into his crosshair. That was perfectly played. What a huge round from BTN on the A bomb side. It looked like all was set and lost, but he salvages the situation in such a huge way.
You've seen him do such a good job as well over there. Oh, crazy sticker on the ground. Represent the area, of course. But yeah, it's BTN's actually had a couple of great rounds towards A. Again, we don't really see him being one of the top fraggers for the team as the in-game leader, but he has done a great job playing that anchor role. Meanwhile, it's the Mac 10 buyer. It's, well, 4 Mac 10s and a UMP. It just seems like Zix don't like no Mac 10. He always buys the UMP.
It's like, nah, I ain't about that life, man. I'm about the UMP.
He ain't a Mac Daddy.
Not enough space for 5 Mac Daddies on one team, Mike. You should know this by now.
This
They're
is
going to
true.
try and make space on the A bomb
Oh.
side. Rocking destroys Raga. His teammates trying to get through the apartments, and they've actually been able to do it successfully. This time, BTN doesn't mount much of a defense. Zello already been brought down to 1 health as well. What a successful execute from Skate to get themselves onto the A bomb site, considering the lack of weaponry. Now it's retake time for these 2 Nexus players, but this is so tough for them, especially considering that a fresh smoke has just been dropped. Rainwaker with the AWP is going to be able to shut down the first.
way he
He's playing a
expects
bait
this.
and switch out with Denny. No way, as you said, that I am anticipates a second player, but it doesn't even get that far as Rainwaker takes him down. 9-6 is the scoreline, and I think Skade would be the happier of the 2 teams heading into the second half.
Yeah, very competitive half out of both teams, in fact, when it looked at the beginning of the half like Nexus might run away with it. So a couple of big rounds we saw out of Rocking and Zix that actually brought it back from 7-2 to 7-4 and set themselves up for a good half. And Skade were really, shall I say, they were afforded a lot of space on the wraparound there through Arch towards A, and I almost feel like there were a couple more rounds there that they could have taken just because of how successfully they were able to actually get behind them. Nexus were great on the retakes, but I think that's a pretty big hole in the Nexus defense. If anyone watches this demo from the rest of the teams, probably got a good opportunity against them. Let's go on camera, Matt.
Okay, I mean, look, those first few rounds were actually close. You could see that it was consistently diffusers, which actually closed it out for Nexus. So they were able to get it close in those initial stages, and then Skate actually started to close out those rounds in which they had some clear advantages. So really well done by the Bulgarians to actually make it 9-6 at the end of the half there. And we've actually got an interesting game now poised at 9-6 heading into that second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a tantalizing prospect. It was super close in the previous one. We ended up on overtime, and I wouldn't put it past happening on this one as well. If it does go to overtime, make sure you get your Pringles out. Very important, very important. Got to
Yes,
go for the salt and
maintain,
vinegar. I'm all about that salt and vinegar life.
Yeah, I tend to like to disagree with you just so that I can disagree with you, but on this one I just can't. Salt and vinegar, I'm about that one as well.
I tell you, I can go back to that cupboard. There's another one of these in the
Oh
cupboard.
jeez. You're not getting these sponsored, are you? Because I haven't had any sent to me yet.
Oh, you don't know, Matt. You don't know.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, and we're going to be finding out who knows what it's got. I don't even know where I was going with that one. I just thought I could maybe roll with it, but it got hit by a stop sign, so we're just going to go into the round here. 9-6, the Nexus on the T side looking to make it happen. They've actually got quite a bit of util to work with here. 2 smokes, a molly, and a flash. What's the game plan?
That is the number one question that we're looking to see the answer to. Zoots was the hero of the T-pistol round over on Mirage. I wonder if he can do that again. He's the pack horse yet again.
Yeah.
Got the utility. Raga as well. Both of
This
them
is
fragging very well in the first half.
Yeah, this is an interesting hold from Skade to be committing only 1 player at the B-bomb site without any information, and he doesn't have a smoke either, so he could very easily be overwhelmed here if Nexus do eventually go towards B.
It's very different out of the 2 teams because actually there was only 1 player towards B from Nexus as well, but they had already pushed off a really fast early run, so they got that quick rotate. There would be no quick rotate here, but it does seem like the gamble stack might work since there are 4 players close by.
Yeah, the bomb is still towards the back of ramp though, so anything is possible. And it looks like Nexus are going to be splitting through towards Archers. Nice entry there from IM, and that completely opens up that B bomb site for a split, and that's exactly what the case is going to be here for Nexus. Two players coming up Banana as well, and Rocking, he is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He knows that he has to make a move, so he gets aggressive, but the trade is there from Zello as he pushes up Banana, timing that frag perfectly. And Nexus in such a good position right now as they do find the control. Zix, though, he's able to get Raga. I thought that Raga may actually have the element of surprise on his side, but not able to work out. And now this actually becomes a bit awkward for Nexus in the 2 versus 2.
Zello with a P250, we know how much of a terror he can be, but if they can take him down early here, this is very possible for them. And he keeps repeaking, he's going for it, and he gets the first kill. Could he get the second?
Oh wow, how does he get that?
He does.
Zix. Oh wow, what a shot onto Raftu as well. You were saying the man's a beast with the P250, and time and time again he does live up to that expectation.
And again, he hasn't had to actually go too mental on this map, and they are winning. Jeez, that second shot was just... I held my breath there. You actually heard as I was casting. I was just like,
You needed to wait and see.
Yeah,
Anticipation.
Well, Zello does land those great pistol round out of Nexus. And it looks like the aggression down mid with the nades does huge damage, actually.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. Nexus didn't time that too well after the first 2 nades. Maybe that was the intention, the old bait and switch.
Oh, and a nade in return there from Rago as well, doing huge damage to Rocking, 77 to be precise. So the utility having quite an impact in the early stages of this round, and it looks like Nexus are just going to hedge their bets towards the A bomb side, keep things simple here in the anti-force buy. Loving the emphasis on smokes here from Skade. They've got 4 to work with, and the way that you want to use these in this scenario is dropping them reactively. As soon as you see the T's begin the execute, you drop your smoke, keeping them at bay. Eventually pushing the round to as late as you possibly can and trying to thrive amongst the chaos.
That was a really weird smoke into the corner there out of Nexus, actually. Not sure what that's all about. Maybe a little miss. But still 45 seconds on the clock here. Nobody dead yet.
Yeah, all smokes used as well, which means Nexus are certainly going to be able to get themselves onto the say bomb site. Just going to have to take the fights now. Pushing around quite late as they do start to split, and they're able to trade Denny's out. I think that's a fair trade. Nexus is going to be quite content with that one. Zoots eventually does pounce, and he's able to clear out most of the line.
Yeah, it doesn't actually come into play too much there after all. Should be 11-6 here, barring any issues. And, well, I think that's the danger averted there for Nexus, because against the force buy in a map like Inferno, if you do run into a stack, it can go really badly for you. So I think that's the bullet dodge, the proverbial and the literal bullet dodge.
Yeah.
I don't think the scout actually sent many bullets down range after all.
At least he's going to be able to take it into the next round. Hopefully for Rocking, he'll have a bit more of an impact with it.
Oh.
Zoots, you got the short end of the stick there. Nexus go up 11-6, 5-round advantage for them as we going to have another eco for Skate, so they should be able to make it 6 here.
Yeah, most likely. Let's see how Nexus play this one. Of course, they did have exceptional amounts of troubles against pistols in previous seasons. They looked a lot better on Mirage. Let's see if they can continue that over here. And of course, Skate did take the first map, the former B Pro side. So Nexus are looking to strike back, and they've looked pretty good for it so far in the map. But there were moments there in the first half where Skate definitely had the better of them. So I still think this one is as close as you like.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that next buy round is going to be a telltale sign as to what sort of a game we're in store for if Skade have got what it takes to be competitive here on the CT side, or if Nexus are just going to continue to run away with it. Bit of a stack over at the B bomb site here from the Bulgarians, hoping that Nexus will eventually head in that direction, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. This is definitely a far more calculated approach from Nexus in their anti-eco rounds, Mike, which I'm very happy to see. Having presence across the map, always covering one another, making sure nobody's really left to their own devices.
Absolutely, much more thorough than what we used to see out of them. Out they go
Good use
there.
of their utility as well. Flashes coming through. Rocking stands no chance there. I mean, I'm just really glad to see the amount of smokes and flashes they're using in their approach, making sure that they're not leaving things up to chance. Not just having the mentality, oh well, they have pistols, we can just run and gun them and outgun them.
Oh,
Using every little bit of every little advantage that they've got.
absolutely. Make sure you don't take fair fights if you don't have to. The only one who does probably take a fair fight and win it is Zello. That's what he's all about.
Yeah, he can take most fights.
It's true.
Heck, I would even let him fight me, Mike.
You would, just for the honor.
Just for the honor of saying I had Zello take me down. A couple of frags here in Banana. I think Skate are going to be quite happy with that exchange, able to find a frag there. Not like they were going to be looking to save any of the weaponry they were holding on to there. But this is the round I was referring to. This is the telltale round. Do Skate have what it takes to mount a solid defense here on the CT side? They don't have the AWP.
Oh, that's actually a big deficiency for them. But it is, as you say, the round that matters. It's the one that's going to tell us what's going to happen in this game. Skate did take that first map. Nexus looking to strike back immediately. Lots of nade damage yet again here for Skate. But nobody dead just yet, Matt. And 135 still left here, so plenty of time for Nexus to set up and decide where they want to go. The problem for Skate, of course, is just a huge lack of utility. They've used a lot of it already. Got a couple mollies left, a few smokes left. But with so much time on the clock, you'd think they're going to use them. This is clever, actually, to equalize things, to push and be aggressive. Let's see how it works for them. Zix for the kill there. And he doesn't immediately go for the trade, and that's a big brain play, Matt.
Yeah, that was a huge frag coming through from Rafter, and he continues to push forward, which means now he becomes this massive presence that Nexus have to deal with, and they actually can't continue to push forward until they find the frag, but it looks like Rag is actually going to be in a position to take him down, and that is such a big kill that just came through for Nexus, because now that is disaster averted, and they can focus their resources onto a bomb site of their choice. And look at the position of Zello. He's been able to get into the back lines here, and he's going to shut down the rotator, rocking nearly actually comes through. He does a bit of damage, but now it's on Denny's Law's shoulders, and he starts to push out of position. He's going to get found out here. Nice first shot from him, and he readjusts his crosshair just in time, but still he gets taken down, and that leaves Rainwaker in a pretty much unwinnable position, considering he has no kit, no utility, and no information as to where the position of either of these two players when he pushes into the bomb site, and that's exactly why he's going to be saving Nexus on an absolute tear here in the second half, Mike. That is, that's going to be their fourth consecutive round, I think.
Oh, we're saying the game is actually still pretty close despite what the scoreline says, but I think that round, as we said, gives a lot of context for where this game is going on map 2, because, well, that might just be the beginning of the end here for Skade. 13 on the board for Nexus, just about. And I also think it's a sigh of relief for Nexus, because I think Zello almost chucked that one away after getting them the advantage when he just ran out of library there and gave up his life. Just the timing a little bit off there between the Nexus players. And in the end, it doesn't hurt them. But, yeah, that could have gone bad.
Just something a little bit out of context here. See that Furia have signed Henny. And that's that dropping Able J.
I was going to say, it's definitely got to be Able J who's gone, right?
But the point is that he's got a 5-year contract signed about 6 months ago, so, or maybe not even 6 months ago. So that's really puts him in a pretty tough position. His buyout must be enormous. Anyway, Rocking, he has an enormous job to do, and unfortunately he's only able to find one frag. This is such an important round for Nexus because they can get to 14 here, get such a huge advantage, and it looks like that's going to be the case. A nice double kill there from BTN. Means that he solidifies a huge advantage for his team, and Raftu the only player remaining, not for much longer either. And this is such an exciting map so far from Nexus. If this is what we're in for heading into the rest of the season, this is going to be a fantastic one to watch, Mike.
Yeah, super excited, and it's a great game to start the season off. We had overtime on the first map, Skate taking it, Nexus here in control in the second. And actually, that whole topic of Furia, if you've never watched it, check out Pika's Advantage. Very cool podcast with Davey and Semphis and Maui Snake. They actually talk about it quite a bit on this week's episode from Friday. Not about the lineup change, but just about Furia, which is quite interesting.
Just need to adjust the new bot. I see that it's got the wrong bracket command. That's my mistake for not putting it in earlier. Apologies.
Oh, Matt, you madman, you terrible person, man. How could you do that to our viewers?
I try, Mike, I try.
Oh, there's the trade at least. Denny's Law with the trade on Duty. There's a couple kills here for BTN. That spray control there to adjust and get the player on the half wall as well. And that could be the nail in the coffin here, Matt.
Yeah, that could be the nail in the coffin as well. We're going to be seeing that push coming through onto the B bomb site now. Spray through the smoke. Zix does huge damage to BTN, but still not fatal. Zello and BTN, only 10 points of health between the two of them. Good attention to detail from Zello to plant on top of the coffin just to make sure he doesn't get sprayed through that wood. And you can see Zix looking to capitalize, tries to make something happen now on Denny's Law's shoulders in the 1 versus 3. Surely this isn't possible, Mike. They know exactly where he is, and he's going to walk straight into the crosshair of Raga. Nexus looking so good here on their T side.
So looking like they could be able to win this one. And I went there just because Able J got killed from got killed off from Furia. So
that's quite a bold statement, Mike.
Killed off. They killed him early. He was the red shirt in Star Trek.
No, I was saying it's quite a bold statement that you think that Nexus could win this one.
Yeah, it's the call I'm making, you know, based on the fact that it's 15-6. Oh, anyway, BTN under a lot of pressure, and he actually goes down in the smoke to Rainwaker. That's a good start here for Skade, but if we're talking about mountains to climb, this could be a pretty big one. Maybe an Everest-sized one at this point.
Yeah, not looking entirely likely. At least they get off to a good start by finding that first frag, but a lot more work to do from there.
Still playing it fairly quickly though, and they've taken a fair bit of real estate as well away from Skade. And that's going to be giving them a fair bit of space to work with, a little bit of elbow room. That's always good to have as a T side. It just gives you so many more options when you've got some map control. Of course, they don't have much banana control, but the CTs are being extremely passive, and they know that.
Yeah. The split has been working so well for Nexus throughout the half, so I can completely understand why they would like to try and close the map off in this fashion as well. Zoots has been able to get so far forward here, and all of a sudden Nexus are going to be exploding onto the say bomb site. Do Skade have what it takes to shut down the explosion? Raftu using the bicycle to get a vertical advantage there over the smoke, and he's able to find a frag. Rainmaker looking for a timing push here. He may be able to shut Zelo down. He does catch him off guard. Still has a job to do here, and in fact it's going to be the pistol for Raga, but still Skade are able to make ends meet as they do close out the round, keeping their hopes and dreams alive here on Inferno.
Yeah, at this stage it is only hopes and dreams, but you never know. Some people, when you have a dream, it does actually become reality. It's just going to take a while for us to believe in the dream, Matt, because 15-7, that's a big gap.
Yeah, that's certainly quite a deficit to try and get a picture. Sometimes that can overwhelm a team. Round by round. Eventually reduce Nexus's economy, get them into that eco, find some momentum and confidence.
Ooh.
Whoa! How does Zello get that frag? Raga gets Zix, who was just looking for a mere trade, Mike. This is ruthless from the Romanians, and they're just going to continue to ride this wave straight onto the A bomb site. Raftu has such a big job to do, and he's been able to find 2. That smoke was huge, gave him so much cover. Raga, though, surging forward, he finds himself a double, a triple, in fact. And only one man remaining, Rainwaker. And I think that Raga knows he's there. He heard the smoke bounce off of him. Rainwaker with a smoke and a kitch here as well, so there is some hope for him in this round, but he needs to win the clutch to keep his team in the map. And they're going to know exactly where he's coming from as he chooses to throw that molly, hoping there's a player in ditch. Unfortunately, not the case. He does have that spray down to Raga, and he spots out BTN. What a headshot from Rainwaker. Nexus, they drop the ball. Even has enough time to go back and get the AWP. What a clutch from Rainwaker, the new addition.
Yeah, that's exactly what they brought him into this team for. His ability in the clutch, his ability in to pick up the double AWP within their CT sides as well, which just gives them so much more flexibility. And well, that's pretty flexible from him. He bends over backwards to win the round for his team, 15-8. And yeah, Skade's still in it, still just by the skin of a fingernail.
Yeah, it certainly is very close. They're within touching distance of losing this game, but they need to maintain that hope and belief. Denny's are going to get aggressive here with the AWP, with that fire covering him at the bottom of middle. Nexus are not going to be getting too uncomfortable just yet, I don't think. Only 2 rounds that they've lost now.
Been pretty impressed with the nade damage actually that's come out of Skade. I know they're not winning the rounds, but as they should have, but they've actually done consistently a ton of damage in Banana.
Yeah, effectively using their utility. Looks like they want to be quite aggressive in maintaining the control here. You can see between Denny's Law and his teammate Rocking, they are looking to hold here and take the fight, and that's exactly what Denny's Law does. Again, finding the opening frag towards Banana. Nexus haven't really been putting too much emphasis on this part of the map in the buy rounds. Quite happy to just go there in the early stages of the round and then eventually gravitate back towards A. Skade, they've been able to take that Banana control, which has allowed them to cheat that extra player across towards the A bomb site.
Actually been
He's been doing
pivotal.
so much work here from Pitt, and he finds himself a frag again here. Zeus has been able to get quite far forward, hoping he can catch somebody off guard, but Skade, they statues right now. Holding, sitting, waiting, not giving anything away.
Oh, there's a nice opening for Zello, but there's the trade. And actually, one of the players takes a headshot through the box. Not going to matter too much in the context of the round. I don't think I am with the wraparound, but surely they've got his number. And well, his number came up, and he won the lucky draw, and he wasn't so lucky after all, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, he signed him for something that he hadn't realized.
Yeah, indeed. Now drawing within 6. Skade's still making it work, keeping their hopes alive, and now the dreams have turned into hopes, Matt, because it's
Yeah.
a little bit closer.
Yeah, I agree. Certainly, that round deficit now reduced just to 6 from 9 makes for far easier reading. And it's going to be a save here for Nexus, which means Skate should be able to get within 5, get themselves to double digits. That would certainly be a boost to their confidence.
Yeah, sometimes you do just need a little bit of a morale boost to make you feel better about things. I am feeling a little bit worried spectating Zello with the Deagle, though. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things over several seasons of ESL Southeast Europe Championship. Oh, shooting at teammates. That one gets used to seeing Zello just blowing people apart with Deagle. So let's see if he finds any kills in this one. He's been relatively quiet by his standards on this map, but he hasn't really needed to go ham because his teammates have been pitching in. It was always the Zello story in previous years where he was getting all the kills and the rest of his teammates were sometimes in single digits and they were still winning.
Yeah.
Here they're winning without him having to go mental.
What a massive sigh of relief he must be breathing at this point. Denny's Law, he is able to connect on 2 great shots. He goes back for thirds. The man is hungry, and his appetite certainly will be suppressed after those couple of frags. We're going to have another buy round here for Nexus, and I think if they lose this buy round, they may start to get a bit nervous, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to start to feel a bit of pressure because it does start to mount on the team that's in the lead where you're like, we're letting the slip, guys. We're letting the slip. Don't let them come closer. And it almost becomes like a mental block where you just feel like you can't actually do anything about them getting closer. You know what you need to do, but you can't do it.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. Sometimes the magnitude of the situation can overwhelm a team as well. Knowing that you're within 1 round, sometimes you just rely on, all right, I mean, we're going to win a round somewhere, right? We've still got like 9 map points. It has to come somewhere.
Well,
and those rounds are now being chipped away at.
There's certainly a historical precedent for it as well. Some of the best teams in the world now were teams that were like that in the past. I mean, Astralis, when they were Dignitas years ago, used to be that can't close the game out. Renegades used to be that as well. It's
Team Liquid.
Team Liquid, yeah. I mean, there's so many examples you can pull out. It's definitely something that happens in Counter-Strike.
Let's see if Nexus can make it happen here on the A execute. You can see that rotation's coming through from the B bomb side. I don't think he's going to be getting there in time, though, to actually shut down the initial play. Nexus taking their time, allowing their utility to take effect before they make their way forward. That flashbang in towards Ditch should allow the apartments player to come out. Denny's Law on the bomb side with the AWP is going to be able to find the first frag. Connects on the second as well. That allows Zix to come into the equation. Between the two of them, they're doing a fantastic job.
Jeez,
And
Danny's
the A
been
bomb
good.
site is on lockdown. Nexus may have to start to consider other options. They're just not finding success anymore with that A execute.
Not at all. 24 kills on Danny's Law, and in fact got 24 kills on his opposite number, Rugger, the AWPer on Nexus. But the number's not really getting any bigger for the Nexus players. The only thing that is getting bigger in terms of numbers is Skade's total. They're now within 4, as you said. And Denny's Law, he's been super solid, Matt. I mean, he's just been hitting every shot that he should hit. It's like he's like a metronome. He doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah, he certainly is on the top of his game right now with the AWP. Doesn't matter whether it's long range or close range, he's dialed in.
Oh, I don't know about this from Skade pushing so close up to pistols. I don't know if this is going to work. There's a team
Oh, the
kill on
TK and the
nade.
nade. doesn't even matter because IM's able to chase him down, which means Nexus have now got a 2-man advantage in a round that they should have absolutely no chance of winning. Some quick rotations mean Skade are in a good position to make this retake happen, but the numbers firmly in the Romanian side right now. And that utility not really going to be affecting much right now, so it goes to waste. Still so much util to work with here for Skade, but they can't put all their emphasis, all their time into this util. They need to focus on making their way onto the bomb site here as well, because time's been ticking. All of these mollies, all of these smokes, missing their mark. Finally, Raftu finds a frag, but he's taken a lot of damage. ETN up close here in the corner, has a fight, and he does go down 6. He picks himself up a quick double. Zello in the corner with the AK is going to get the job done for his team. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Nexus close out the map. 1-1 is the scoreline. First game of the day is concluded.
We are done, and we'll be going to a quick break, and then we're going on to the next game. It's Salamander versus Agility, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Join us in about 10 minutes for the next match.
Hi, I'm Pringles.
I'm Chips. Wait, are we doing this Mac versus PC thing?
Guess so.
Then I am the Mac of the chips.
Cool. Then I'm the PC. Perfect for gaming. Easy to eat. No greasy hands.
Wait, I'm into gaming too.
You mean like into the keyboard crumbled?
No?
Or into the TeamSpeak rustling?
No, I'm into that noob frag LOL thing.
Well then, GG, my friend.
What?
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
Sarah, I hurt myself today trying to make the pain go away. Sarah, I want to fade away, be with the stars in outer space. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Could he fill a hole inside me? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah. Sarah, why you leaving me? You know you can't leave me now. Sarah, I lost myself today trying to find ways to make you stay. Sarah, I want to go away, close my eyes, never wake up again. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low, but I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's Molly for the melancholy. Cody, fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah. Sarah, why you leaving me? Put me on my misery.
chatting. I just step up and make it happen. It's a lifestyle. Living young and restless, yeah, we quite wild. If I want it, I'ma get it talking right now. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. So when you see us talking moves, you don't know that's the topic. And if you talking juice, well then you know I got it. Then you know I got it. Nobody got it like me. You know. They can try, but can do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
Nah, you ain't lost none. All over the gram like you got a bag. You ain't big dog, we ain't hear none of that. I'm in the gym looking like a running back. How you know the flow, got him coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm unattached. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Aight.
Night until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move, bringing summer to you.
Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know like I know. We'll take it round and round. Yo, hold up, let me switch my flow up. Back in high school, they were telling me I'll blow up. Doing talent shows and man, everyone will show up. Got in an accident and still made it for them to go nuts. You know what? I'm so so what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide. And with the rhymes that make the dimes, I'll close their eyes and fantasize. Young divine calling their phone number. No, you know I love it. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats on stages for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young black successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move, bringing summer to you.
Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know like I know. We'll take it round and round again.
turned into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your wave right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. What I do right now. What I do right now for you.
Well, I think I won't be able to scroll through Tinder anymore. I've found something far harder to look at. It's Counter-Strike. Agility versus Salamander. I'm Extremes. With me is Hayes.
Yeah, I most certainly am. I'm hoping we're going to have a few more quips like that tonight, Mike. I like that one.
We shall see.
We certainly do have a hot game on our hands. I think that is a fair assessment. As you said, Agility versus Salamander, the Romanian team against the Hungarian side, should get underway momentarily.
It's actually stuck for me. I don't know if it got stuck for you.
It is for me as well. So just to give a bit of context, Salamander, a new team in the competition, boasting quite a few popular Hungarian players, the likes of Flash, Bodito, two very well-known players from that region. And they've had some decent results lately. They played a show match against Budapest 5 at that V4 Future Sports Festival. They drew that game.
Wow.
They lost to Blue Jays. They had a stand-in though. So yeah, they've had some impressive results. They nearly even qualified for that V4 event over Gamerzone.
Which is crazy. I mean, Gamerzone did take a map off MLBR, didn't they?
Yeah, they did indeed. That was a great game. Into the game here we go though. Salamander on the T side, and they're going to be executing into the A bomb sites. What's your time?
1:43.
Okay, I'm way ahead. Go for it, Mike.
Yeah, well, at 1:39 in there go, Lord on the angle, just taking the fight here with 1:35 on the clock. He's peeking around. Coolio coming in for the trade here. Makes hard work of it and gets planted.
128 on my side. BZT putting the bomb down. And he's going to need some support from his teammates here if Salamander are going to be having any control. And they're actually going to be looking to take the control towards CT off the back of that flash. Somehow Blitz is able to get out of dodge. And now Agility just have to focus all of their resources towards CT because that's where both of the remaining players are coming from. They've already taken down Bodito. BZT soon to follow. Agility, they win the first pistol round.
Yes, indeed they do. And quite the agile retake it is with speed and much fury and... all sorts of gnashing of teeth there.
Yeah, what a story it's been for Agility to get to this point. I mean, they shouldn't even be a part of the season 10. Bombonico, their opposition in that regional final.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing
for that last spot, and they completely dropped the ball. They were their own worst enemy, were Bombonica, and here Agility are. So let's see what they can do.
Yeah, they're going to take that opportunity with both hands. I would imagine Cemente is a very experienced campaigner. He'll be telling them exactly what they need to do to make it work. Ooh, nice shot from Lord. That was quite the shot. In fact, to find the headshot on that sort of angle with that kind of speed.
I think he was actually the most impressive player for me in that regional final qualifier that we saw last week.
Yeah, I'd agree. Lord looked great. I thought there were some great rounds out of Blitz as well.
Yeah, and
Cemente with the clutches.
Also. Trying to recognize NJ.
I do
not sure if he was playing in that qualifier game.
If he was, he didn't make much of an impression.
Or he had a different name.
Yeah, that does happen. So we do apologize, of course, if we're getting that wrong. Sometimes players use different names.
Well, there's an element in Bodito dropping down. He's not on the elemental table because he's now in the ground. Lord, he picks up a frag as well, and that maybe got slightly dicey for a second there. But Agility do bring calm back to the situation, finding a quick flurry of frags.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, okay, Lord. That was a rather quick little headshot there. He seems to be dealing in those. Sells them on the black market. Headshots all around.
I could do with a few more of those.
6-0-0
Wow,
on
100
NJ.
Look at the ADR of NJ and Lord.
Madness.
Like 3 frags around between the two of them, essentially.
Some crazy stuff. Meanwhile, we're moving into the first full buy round. Salamander. Well, they're going to be salivating at the prospect of these kills. BZT taking down Blitz. Flurry of frags at the moment, Matt.
Yeah, indeed, and it looks like it's the T side who come out on top with that one-man advantage. So much time left on the clock for them to try and decide what they'd like to do here as well. And look at the positioning here from Agility over at the A bomb side. They're so aggressive right now and getting so much information, and the fact that they've continued to commit to this hold is quite interesting, leaving Cemente to his own devices here on the opposite side of the map.
They could end up missing this one completely, but I guess they're...
With that call, let's see if he can do anything about it here over at the bomb side all by himself. He's able to find the first, but that was a great shot from BZT. Always difficult to drop into that B bomb side and find the immediate headshot.
So the question is it BZT or BZT?
Yeah, man, that's depends who you ask.
Yeah, well, we've sort of subscribed to the English school of pronunciation, former British colony of South Africa, so we say Z, but let us know if we're wrong on that one. Would be good to know from you guys watching.
Seems like Agility are going to be having a crack at the retake here. One player coming from Market, one coming from the Catwalk, and they need to find a frag here. They both do have kits, but these Salamander players not giving anything away. And Ares is just going to be looking to save this rifle. So Salamander, they get themselves on the board here early in the first half.
Slippery creatures are salamanders, and
yeah,
well, proving to be the case in the terms of the team as well. 3-1.
3-1 indeed. Gonna have another buy round here for both of these teams. Is there a gun on the floor for Blitz? Gonna have to wait and see. Yeah, they do recycle an extra M4 out for him. So it's gonna be, as I said, the full buy round here for both of these teams. Maybe just missing an AWP on the side of Salamander.
Nice,
they're going to go for the straight A execute. Yeah, that was a nice molly there. That blocked off the aggression through bench. And look at the molly forcing Blitz out as well. There's just so much fire all over the bomb site. Somehow, though, Blitz has still been able to come up with the double kill. Lord is also playing on the edge of the smoke here, and he finds the frag before he goes down. Bodito just missing the timing on his palace peak there. And that was one heavy A execute coming out of...
That was great.
Yeah, that was beautiful to see. You could see the plan there was for Bodito to throw the flash for the flash for flash to peek off of, and it unfortunately just went a little bit too far. Rest not lined it up at all. He picks up a double, and a high impact double at that as well. Salamander, they've got enough money to reinvest into the round, but 2 Mac 10s certainly are going to be hampering their firepower in this round.
Let's see if they can use those. They're probably going to have to go for somewhat of a shock and awe player. Employ a little bit of speed to actually get those 2 Mac 10s up close and personal. Only one player without a helmet, and that's Cemente, so shouldn't be too much of effect. Of course, he is a B-bomb side player, though, so if they do catch him with a Mac 10, there's the possibility that he eats one shot and dies instantly. Let's see. Arrow's holding his fire at the moment. Now he's actually spraying. He hits the bomb carrier there while fully flashed.
Yeah, he does go down though. Cemente hasn't been able to have an impact. Blitz, he flies through the smoke and he actually goes towards his death. Cemente gets taken down by the AK or Flash, and this is very awkward now for Agility with only 2 players remaining, both of them coming from markets as well.
I'm hearing some strange voices, Matt.
Are they in... Mike, that's just you. You've got strange voices in the back of your head. NJ looking to do some damage to his opponents. Able to find some frags. Have the voices quieted in your head now, Mike?
I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
They're allowing you to focus on the game again. No, jokes aside. It was coming through for me as well.
It's pretty funny when that sort of thing happens. It's all cool. 4-2 here. Things not cool for the CT economy, but they are still in the lead. And they're actually fully invested here. This is a force life for these CTs. And, BZT actually makes it out with his life and does not reap a soul for his own.
Yeah, this is actually quite a bold call from Agility to go for the force buy here. Not even like they did a massive amount of damage to Salamander's economy in the previous round, so I'm not sure where the logic lies, but let's see if they can make these pistols work. Cementi off the back of a flash is going to look to get aggressive. Doesn't land a shot though. And Salamander now know that they are going up against pistols. Perez looking to get aggressive here. Feels like he has to make a play considering the lack of weaponry, and he actually does get a huge amount of damage onto Bodito, but not lethal, meaning that that is an early one-man advantage here for the T side, and off the back of that, they are going to be committing wholeheartedly to this B-bomb site. All 5 players making their way across. What can NJ get done on the cross here? Nothing is the answer.
Yeah,
Aaron
just getting
Flash
planted.
got the entries down.
Dumpstered. There's Lord, the only man left alive, and I'm guessing he's going to be looking for exits, so it's going to be 4-3 here. Oh, okay, Lord. Continuing his impressive showing with the aim, but he won't be long for this world. Flash says no. No in a flash.
I'm just trying to figure out exactly how accurate we are about NJ at the moment.
Is he element?
Yeah, he must be. Looking at the team that they've registered, I don't recognize any of those other players from last week, so it must be element then. If anybody can confirm that for us, that would be great. Agility on a full savior, stacking 3 players in snipers, and NJ from Connector able to find a quick frag there as well. Probably all that agility are going to be finding in this round though. Must say Salamander looking great in their approach at the moment on the T side. Very direct, but still calculated.
Yeah, they look like they do have a fair amount in the tank in terms of strategy to actually employ here, and it's nice to see a team being this thorough, especially when we're not expecting that much out of them. We don't know too much about them. They beat Bombonica in the regional qualifiers, and that left agility to play Bombonica, which, well, that's self-named team who will no longer name yet again because I'm tired of them.
Yeah.
Well, they basically threw it away on Dust 2. They won the first map easily. Dust 2, they were leading by a massive amount, and they started being stupid, buying 5 AWPs and just doing that repeatedly, and they started losing rounds. It eventually went to overtime after it meant they won a 1v4.
Yep. His teammates even abandoned him.
Yeah, his teammates abandoned him. They had no hope. He wins the 1v4. They go to overtime. We end up on a 3rd map. And amazingly, there it gets closed out by agility. Bombonica lost. And I'll never say their name again. Goodbye.
Yeah, they don't deserve any more airtime, Mike.
Nope.
They could have been here. This could have been them. But it is not.
You, but you wanted to play
Salamander
like
getting super aggressive onto the say bomb side right now, trying to do some damage. They know that agility are going to be hurting in the way of weaponry and the way of utility, so if they can get themselves control of the A bomb site, the retake not very likely, and they've been able to find those 2 opening frags. Only 1 in reply there from NJ. Flash looks like he wants to push forward as soon as that smoke dissipates, and that's exactly what he does, finding a frag, and with that surely solidifying the round for his team. Ares and NJ, the 2 players remaining. I'm not sure if they should be committing to this one, Mike.
Yeah, I think they're pretty sure now that they shouldn't have after that kill came in. Unfortunately for them, it's probably too late.
NJ quite committed here towards the top of Connector as well. He may be able to find an exit frag perhaps, but that's all that will be on the table for him because they now know exactly where he is. Coolio going to be looking for the frag. Goes down, so at least a bit of economic damage being done towards the end of the round here. Still Bodito going to find the timing on the peak. Salamander go ahead, 5-4 here on their T side. First time in the game that they go ahead. And this is Agility's map pick, by the way. We head to Train next, which is Salamander's map pick.
Yeah, that actually doesn't bode too well for Agility. They started so well, and then, Salamander happened. Very even frag distribution there for the Lizard team.
Cold-blooded. Let's see, not very cold-blooded in their approach right now. They're looking very hot. They're eager to find these rounds, and they're just going to be barreling straight into this B-bomb site. They need to be careful though against the pistols. Sometimes this can bite you. Rotations have come through thick and fast as well. The wall of smoke's blocking them all for the time being. Lord is going to be looking for the timing. He's able to catch Flash off guard. That's the bomb dropped on the deck as well. Someone's going to have to retrieve that. Oh man, NJ not able to immediately land the shot. Neither is Blitz, which means both of them go down. And Salamander, they've clearly got a bit of momentum and confidence behind them right now.
Yeah, they do. We did see agility in the qualifier look a little bit shell-shocked at times when things went against them. They did struggle to actually get themselves back into it, and it was down to mistakes from their opponents that kept them in the game. So, don't know. We'll have to see what agility actually have in the tank. Cemente is a former winner of ESL Southeast Europe Championship back in Season 7 early last year with Nexus, but it's been a long time since then.
Looking forward to that agility versus Nexus matchup, actually. Inter-Romanian game. Blitz, I think he's also played alongside IM and Zoots before. Of course, as you mentioned, Cemente was part of Nexus as well, so there's a bit of history there between those players.
It's always fun to see these derby matches as well, because you'll often see a team that should be way better actually sort of sink to the level of their opponents, just because it's all about like laying the domination on your local rivals. So we'll see how that one goes. Still, I'm not sure which week it is. I should actually probably check the fixtures, but so far I've just been engrossed in enjoying the fixtures that we've had tonight. Plenty of CS coming your way this week, though. Tomorrow night, back with ESL Southeast Europe Championship Season 10. What am I saying? And on Thursday, it'll be Season 11, because I've decided that that's what it'll be called. It'll be Season 10 as well. It's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. You'll be able to catch us for the next 5 weeks. And, talking about catching people, Badito catches himself a blitz head.
Yeah. Opening up this A bomb site with ease, it would seem. Nice change of pace from Salamander, putting the brake on things after being so aggressive in the past 2 rounds. It's agility. They don't have anything in the bank yet to work with. They don't have any utility to make this retake happen with. Cemente finds a frag, but still, I'm not sure if they should be committing to this once again. I think the better decision would be looking to save these weapons. There is already a lurk coming through, though, from Flash, and he's in ladder room, so he should be shutting down any players who try save. And you can see now they have to commit. They need to make their way across, and they all get shut down. What a great team play coming out of Salamander. Like I said, fantastic change of pace from them.
Yeah, they're playing very together, shall I say. I mean, it just seems to be that the cohesion as a unit is there, and we haven't seen them yet. So, I mean, we're learning about them as we're watching this, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, man.
Yeah, so am I, Mike. Just to confirm, it is going to be match day 6 that we'll have agility versus Nexus. So that should be next week then, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it should be next week, Thursday. Lord, Jesus, this guy's so accurate with any gun. He just lands the headshots. This guy's crazy. They just need more of him. They need to clone him, Matt.
Yeah, if that was a possibility, we would have some pretty crazy super teams out there.
5 times Zello, 5 times Simple.
I'm thinking more, Cold Zero, Simple, Device.
No, you can't have 5 times Cold Zero. It'll just be the baitiest team in the world, man.
Yeah, it's like, who's left to bait then, right?
Exactly.
all of them just sitting back waiting for someone else to make the move.
No, you first, my good man. No, I insist, you first.
After you, please.
We joke, of course. I mean, Cole's a great player, but it's fun to joke a little bit. Talking about jokes, did you see Magic's post on Twitter now about referencing the Furia situation with Abel J out for Henny?
No, I didn't.
He says next thing it's going to be 10-year contracts, right?
Jeez, like, ain't letting those players out of jail. Wow, that's exactly what agility needed. Lord, finally able to find some early success in the round, putting his team in a decent position. Salamander with their backs against the wall are going to have to make something happen. Flash is actually in a good position to find the frag. Blitz seems like his trigger discipline, his spidey senses were tingling. He was ready for that one. Maybe some info coming through from that cat player. Now Salamander, these 2 last players trying to work along with one another, but they're going to get shut down, and that's a desperately required round going the way of agility.
Finally something going their way, Matt.
Yeah.
It really has not been looking good for them. Salamander immediately taking a pause, actually. They've, of course, already won the half at 8-5, so they're not too concerned about the game situation overall. But certainly if they're planning to put this one to bed quickly, if they can get a couple more and actually move over to the CT side with an even bigger advantage, they'll be feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I don't think that Salamander would be content with an 8-7 halftime scoreline, considering how dominant they've been in the middle passage here of this half.
Yeah, I'll just say it. I've been really impressed with them. On the other side, it is pretty much the players that we were remembering from the qualifier, ENG, assuming that's Element and Lord. Lord's got some great aim. It just seems to be he's not always in a great position to get a frag and not be traded, which is a little bit of an issue.
So, Agility do chip away at that Goliath of an economy that Salamander just had. Still quite a lot of money in the reserves there. They'll be able to buy up for the rest of the half, actually. And Agility, they've already used quite a bit of their util. And there's still Ares who has a full belt of util to work with, but the rest of the players not as much. Double AWP also in play here for Agility once again. And it seems like Salamander are just going to be doubling back for the A execute. Yeah, it's been working out well for them so far. They did lose it in the previous round, but that was off the back of the double lineup.
Oh my word. How did he get there? I didn't even see
spot
this.
Neither did I, Mike. He pounces. He finds the first, but he's not able to get Lord. Swings out 90-degree angle and the spray down from Blitz. Can he get the third? Absolutely. What a sequence of frags coming out of Blitz.
Oh, that was just incredible. BZT catches a nade in his back pocket. Doesn't actually drop him down, though. 4 HP, and he's trying to win. 35 seconds on the clock, and it's not going to work for him at all. He is planted, and that's all of Blitz. He gets the quad kill, man. And that close angle with an SG, I mean, Flash needed to get way more than that.
Yeah, Flash messed up. I'm actually surprised that he went for that frag in the first place. I thought he could have had a bit more trigger discipline and got more information in the bomb site.
Nothing but headshots there for Blitz.
Last round of the half.
Well,
Agility with a late flurry here. They are starting to look good. What's strange? The 3 towards B?
No, that's changed, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, on the angle, nearly a double kill again for the AWP, actually. Does actually wing the second play, and... Well, no, he doesn't actually, sorry. It's Blitz who takes him down. But again, a very emphatic start to a round for Agility, and it was so very much in favor of Salamander.
Yeah, certainly has been a turn of events here. A nice late little turnaround for Agility means that they've got some momentum heading into the second half, pretty much regardless of how this round goes, even though it looks like it's going to be in their favor for the most part. One-man advantage as Salamander gravitate towards that B bomb site. Bodito's been able to get towards ladder room, and I'm not sure if Agility are aware of this. If he can pounce and find a quick frag, then that could be pretty big. Gets the connector player, not going to be changing too much in the way of what goes on at this B bomb site. There's a player hiding in the corner here. He's got the trigger, he's holding his nerve, and he's going to be able to pounce as he finds the frag. Bodito now tasked with trying to take him down and clutch out the situation. He's got a triple so far in the round. Doesn't have the bomb, and he doesn't know where Ares is. Ares is actually lurked into the bomb site, and he's going to be able to spot him out in time. This has become very awkward now for Ares, considering he's got the AWP to work with in close quarters. Bodito, with only 20 seconds left, it looks like he wants to double back towards the A bomb site, but he doesn't have the time for that, I don't think, Mike. He's going to be committing to it, though, and Ares is not aware of this. May have got an audio cue, and Bodito is going to be able to get across just in time. He's actually got a couple seconds to spare, so that was well calculated from him. Penny's going to drop now for Ares, and he's got a retake to make happen. Trades out for the AK, smart decision, considering there's going to be so many different angles for him to clear out as he pushes into the bomb site. The rest could be anywhere. Rather, Bodito could be anywhere at this point. He's got a flash and he's got a kit. Bodito deciding to actually sit in the back of the bomb site here, maybe just considering how obvious it is, might allow him to catch Ares off guard, and he is going to take him down.
Whew. Salamander there, I think, saved from the fire there. That was almost a roast Salamander in that particular round, just because, well, things could have gone so wrong, but Bodito, the big brain, uses that big old brain, the neurons firing, and manages to think his way out of that scenario, Matt.
Yeah, just, you got me thinking now, roast Salamander. I mean, that's something our predecessors would be familiar with.
Oh, you mean a Neolithic man?
Yeah. A while ago.
A while ago, our predecessors.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Salamander are going to be happy that they close out that round, just edging them back in front, even though they'd won the half. If Agility picked up the last 3, they would have been a lot happier heading into the second, whereas now Salamander just edged that confidence up a notch. 9-6 heading into the second half. They're going to be on the CT side as well. Both of these teams have coaches present, which is always good to see. I saw Starkiller there for Nexus, so he's been retained from Season 9.
Yeah, that's always good to see as well, and something that we've seen even at lower levels of Counter-Strike become a factor, coaches being around, whereas in previous years it was really only the top teams that would actually delve into that. Meanwhile, we're delving into the second half of this first map of Agility versus Salamander in the first night of ESL Southeast Europe Championship Season 10. 1 minute 48 on the clock as the smoke flies in. They're not wasting any time here, man.
Oh, I'm unfortunately out of sync with you, Mike.
All good, 140, and they're taking some site control. Yeah, got plenty of space, in fact, to work with, and they're going to be going for some CT control before they go for the bomb plant, as we see the plant coming in on 130 as it goes down. So, yeah, nobody actually dead, which is a rather unusual scenario.
Yeah, and Agility actually in a good position. They've got 2 players posted up on the trash can in CT, and they've got Ares flanking through from ramp, and it's going to be heavy emphasis from Salamander pushing through, trying to retake from CT, and it's the Glocks that do all the damage. Semente picks himself up a triple, NJ closes out the round, and Agility having no trouble in locking down the bomb sites after finding that plant.
Very nice work from them. We've seen pretty consistently on Mirage tonight the teams in pistol rounds actually going for that CT control off the back of a flash. But Agility, they're actually playing it much, much slower as opposed to just pushing around the corner. They take control there towards the trash can, and then they're just stuck around there rather than overextending and potentially losing a long-range fight to USP. I think that's smart.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Mike. We're going to see a bit of a half buy here from Salamander, around $1,000 on each player, so probably still going to be the double save. Did seem like Agility's core strength was their teamwork in that game against Bombonica. You top that off with Lord and Ares being those star players. They've got a decent balance.
Yeah, I think they've actually got something to work with here, and they are a much better team than what they may have seen in that one. It's just that the team whose name I will no longer ever mention just looked like they had a bit more in fragging power, but they thought maybe they had more than they did. So, oh jeez, still I hate watching teams throw, even if it's unintentionally, but you know it does happen.
Yeah. Arrogance is a weird and wonderful thing, depending on which way you look at it.
As useful as a 5-year contract with Furia.
Yeah, Abel J regretting that one. I think NJ not regretting taking that shot, and he's able to follow it up with a nice second frag there onto Coolio. He's on a bit of a tear at the moment. He's going to come on top of that duel against Flash as well. Bodito, though, he's in the bomb sites, and he does find himself a frag. They're going to continue to push towards him. Surely he goes down here.
Well, nice and easy does it. Like signing a 5-year contract with Furia.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
It must have. It also, I think, just goes to show that that was like absolute nonsense for PR purposes.
Yeah, I hope that a few people have learned from his mistakes.
Yep. Anyway, let's see if Salamander have learned from their mistakes in their previous round. Still with the pistols, yeah, so more or less the same sort of thing. Just double up. Okay, they have learned. They're trying to double up, but Harry's spraying them down, hosing them with bullets. I think if he didn't get that multi-kill there, that could have been some free guns there for Salamander. Trying something different. But of course, it's only going to be the buy round in the next one.
I like that change up there from Salamander as well, getting the player into lowers so that you've got that double peak coming out, trying to overwhelm as well with 3 players from Connector. They net 2 frags, which I think is positive, and they've actually, I like that they kept around $3,000 on each player there, Mike. It's not like they bought back down to the bare minimum, and that's what allows for them to get that double orb, to get that huge wealth of utility, get those kits as well. Good attention to detail here from Salamander.
It's important to put yourself in the best possible situation to actually win around. Coolio going for a peek here that could have been ill-advised, but he did have a teammate at his side, and that's the most important part there.
The teammate took a lot of damage though, but Bodito, he's got Connector and Lockdown with that AWP. Lord, he's got the trade, but it's still Salamander who come out on top. Great round from Coolio to find the double.
Oh, they know
Lord
exactly
in the 1
where Lord
versus
is.
3. Yeah, and I don't think he's aware that there's a player on this B bomb site. Bodito just trying to take his attention here as well, but he's actually been able to evade that player on B, and he's now isolated Bodito as well. That's a great frag for Lord to find, because all of a sudden it completely unlocks this A bomb site. Nice smoke there as well. It's going to be certainly confirming the bomb plants. And Salamander, they're tentative to rotate because they don't know exactly where he was. Was he holding an angle, waiting for one of them to push? No. He's planted the bomb and actually gotten himself into a very winnable position here in the 1 versus 2. Been able to get towards CT safely as well. Things going pretty good here for Lord at the moment.
Not the
There's
best
a
plan
kit
for
and-
CT though.
Yeah, and there's also a smoke for Salamander to work with, a kit on Coolio as well. Smoke goes onto the bomb, incendiary towards CT as well. That's going to be blocking Lord off. It's actually BCT, gets on the defuse though. The man without the kit, it is just going to be enough time.
Oh, I hope so for him. It's going to
Yeah,
be
there
close,
he
but he's
is.
got it.
Wow.
Whew.
That was almost a mess up there, like Kusta.
I know.
What team was that for even with FNS? I can't remember their name right
CLG.
now. Well, it was CLG, that's right. And got on the defuse without the kit. That's nearly exactly what went down in that occasion. Anyway, disaster averted. Salamander win the round.
Yeah, that is a round on the board for them. They're finally in the second half. It's been all agility so far in the second stanza of this game. They're still on the bye though. Lord only on a scout, which seems a little bit of a waste considering the kind of headshots this man's been landing tonight. I mean, you know, I don't know how you fall on this one, but I always think the player who's landing the shots should have the big gun.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, we always think about Simple and Navi. It's the easiest comparison to make in that one always.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I watched quite a lot of Tricked over the past weekend with them playing at that V4 Future event, and every single time they had the hero AK, it was on the likes of Bubsky, never
Gotta
on
be.
Hunden.
I mean, God, Hunden is only minus 5,610 over his career, so we should totally
Jeez.
give him the gun, right? That is literally the number, by the way.
Aaron, he's able to find that opening frag there. What an opening frag that is as well, because it just forces agility now to try and make a move, which means that Bodito can capitalize as well. Blitz needs to do something, and that something is a swift double kill, immediately bringing things back into even numbers.
Lord will be looking to upgrade, and he will be able to do so. So now in what's going to be a post plant as soon as we see this bomb going down. Ooh, that Molly actually denies the plant there for a second. This could get a bit dicey. We've already got 3 players up close, and the bomb isn't down, Matt. This is a tough one for agility.
Seems like agility actually want to try and take a fight here. They're going to be boosting a player. That's Blitz. Looking for a frag, and he's going to go down to Bodito's orb. Things unraveling very quickly here for agility. Big frag coming through from NJ, but the trade is there by Flash. And now Lord, he needs to clutch it out here, and he's going to go down to BZT's orb. Salamander keeping their calm there in the situation, even though things weren't looking great at one point. And that's going to be resetting agility's economy. They've got no money heading into the next round.
Salamander do look like the more patient of the two teams, though, I gotta say. I mean, again, from what we've seen out of agility anyway, they do seem to be a little bit hot-tempered at times. And
Yeah.
in that situation, trying to take the fight rather than just get the bomb down. I understand the feeling there. They knew that they needed to probably create a little bit of space for themselves. But that boost may be a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that it was. Now they have to save, and it looks like it's going to be the fast B coming out of agility, potentially the contact play. There is 2 players here for Salamander to try and keep hold of the bomb side, and wow, BZT immediately getting eliminated, and now Flash has a big job to do. Fortunately, the utility did so much damage, which means the players are certainly a bit weaker trying to get into the bomb site. Bodito's been able to get it across quickly enough as well. Great second shot there to take down Cemente, and it seems like Salamander are going to avoid slipping up on the proverbial banana peel.
Oh, it looked close, though. Lost their footing a little bit, managed to grab a handrail. So,
Yeah.
Phew,
Thankfully for
23.
them.
NJ having a good game.
Yeah, he is having a great game. The likes of Ares and Cemente are yet to really find their footing, though, and they're going to have to soon, Mike.
We
This
did
is a
see.
big buy round for agility.
Yeah, it is. Cemente did struggle big time aside from those big clutches in the regional qualifier. There were a couple games where he was 0 well into the first half of a couple of maps. So
I remember that.
that's
no.
that's brazen out of Blitz. Does a ton
Yeah.
of damage to Coolio, but really didn't need to do that.
Swinging out so wide there without any support led to his demise, and now that's a one-man advantage for Salamander. And look at Aaron, he's going to continue to push forward here, and he catches Ares looking the wrong direction. At least Cement is able to trade, but that's all it's going to be as he gets put in the ground as well. 2-man advantage here for Salamander to drive the round home. BZT with the AUG on the angle. I like the way that Salamander are using these AUGs. Trying to play to their strengths, just firing away through the box. Actually does some damage to Lord. That brings him within 1 tap range now. 3 AUGs here and an AWP for Salamander, so clearly they still see a lot of value in these weapons.
I still think they're great as well. I'm mystified by how teams don't seem to see the value in them.
Oh, great spray down there through the box, and now it's all on NJ's shoulders. He's had a great map so far, but he's not even going to be able to find 1 frag in the clutch.
Standing out in the open.
Yeah, out in the open, maybe just hoping the off angle could work out, get 2 quick kills, and then flick across to CT, but that's a reality which just wasn't going to transpire.
I like that 5-year contract with Furia.
Oh, jeez, Mike. How many of those have we got installed tonight?
Oh, we still got another map, plenty.
Jeez, like, okay. Oh, man. Agility, they're going to go for the buy here, Mike, but they've got pots and pans. They're scraping everything together. 2 smokes, 5 AKs, no AWP. This is, one of those smokes has already been used towards middle, so now it's only a flash and a smoke. Not sure about the decision to go for the buy here.
Yeah, I do feel like if I look at the overall half for them, if Lord had won that 1v2, which it seemed like he could have, you know, we're going back sort of 4 rounds, I think the game could have been very different, but from there we've actually seen Salamander start to build their economy, which they didn't have much of at that stage. Lord, we mentioned his name. If he manages to get both of these, only gets the one, man.
Yeah, I thought he had both frags for all money there. Flash did a great job to actually turn that around and actually just reduce the losses to just 1.
Yeah, that's actually
a big frag nonetheless, and Blitz is actually going to catch a nice timing there as he comes out of ramp, taking Bodito down. And that spreads the defense thin now. Got 1 player on B, 1 on CT, and 1 in Palace, and it looks like Agility are going to be going towards the B bomb site here eventually. 45 seconds left on the clock. And it still is only Flash on this side of the map right now. So this is a perfect window of opportunity for Agility. And they're going to be capitalizing on it. Flash, though, he's actually able to spot them. He gets the double spray down. And the rotations are coming through thick and fast as well. He's still alive. And you can see what a menace he's being. NJ is waiting, hoping that he's going to offer himself up. But Flash is not giving anything away right now. And time's ticking. There's only 18 seconds left. They don't even really have time to look for him. They're going to have to just commit to the plant, and Flash continues to be their living nightmare.
Well, jumping Jack Flash doesn't actually have to jump at all. He just stays planted on the ground, sprays him down. The double kill there. So influential in winning the round for them. And he rounds it out beautifully as well, yeah. Considering the amount of pressure he was on, he didn't even have to use a nade there, Matt. I mean, he didn't have a nade. He just had to take the fights, and he got them.
Yeah, that was insane from Flash. And look at the disjoints and buy here from Agility. You've got NJ on the full investments, and then everybody else not so much. I mean, could just be that train of thought that because they've got such a substantial round loss bonus, he'll be able to get a Galil and armor in the next round. And get $3,400 with maximum round loss bonus.
Well, they're just getting...
His teammates have all been dropped, yeah, and he's also going to go down. I mean, let's not lie. I mean, against the team that shall not be named, Agility did look shaky for the most part, and they did have quite a few questionable rounds and buys where they looked very disjointed. Some were saving, some were investing, and you could see that frustration definitely was a factor that affected the team. So even when you look at the scenario where Cemente was left in the 1 versus 4 and his team pretty much all disconnected while he was still alive, it shows some information as to the type of players that are in that team.
Yeah, speaks to the mindset, of course. That's what they'd called it in the court of law. And
yeah,
the mindset has shown a little bit of mental weakness when it comes to being a bit under the pump, being under a lot of pressure. So sort of succumbing at this stage. Bodito bodying Lord there. Lord's had some great kills so far, but it seems like he's had all these big impact kills, but it hasn't actually had that much impact on the score.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what he was hoping for there either, because you're pretty much always going to go down to the CT AWP if he is in snipers, so maybe just hoping that there wasn't going to be someone there. But when you're 15-9 down, those aren't the sort of bets you want to be making. You need to try and make the safest play possible, play the percentages.
Go for the sure bet, and body
goes to the same fate as well. Just hoping that maybe there isn't an AWP on the angle, but Salamander not putting a foot wrong right now.
And CT Orping Badito has been really good so far. Got to say. I mean, haven't seen much of the player yet until obviously we've seen them tonight, and he's looked pretty good. Blitz walking in now, looking for the entry. Errors with the entry.
Oh wow,
no.
how does Bodito get that? I thought Blitz had the angle on lockdown. That was the frag that he needed. And now it's all on Arrest's shoulders, Mike, in the 1 versus 4.
Jeez, I thought he was just going to run through that
I know,
smoke
me
there.
too.
Okay, he spotted. Badito doesn't actually get the kill. It's a 1v3 now. Errors on 76 HP. He has to ace, but he's been spotted already. Gets the first,
okay.
but Coolio there, cool as you like. 16-9 Salamander over Agility. And that is the first map done. We'll be going to a quick break, yeah, Matt?
Yeah, we'll see you guys after a short break for train.
You ready? Huh? Hey, easy boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Hi, I'm Pringles.
And I'm Chips.
Wanna play?
Wanna lose?
Controllers. That round goes to me, I guess.
Yeah, okay, mister, I'm so funny today, but I've got this greasiness, you know?
No, I don't know. Pringles doesn't give you greasy hands. Ready now?
Yeah.
Well,
I can't.
that's 2-0 for me, I guess.
Chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side, I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different.
Cause the soul in me and the heart I have for you, it bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Bring me to Oh, you bring me to life. Now you bring me back to life. Bring me to life. No. I stopped to my side, tied to run on a faulty line. I'm safe only, even though we burn from the light I bleed. Does she bring me back? Not a heart attack could take away all the love I had for you. It bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Oh, you bring me to You bring me to life. Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a bet, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empowered those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empowered those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. You got a voice, then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day, it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empowered those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empowered those who dream like me. You say you wanna be somebody. Through the clouds, I know it's alright. Heaven's our limit now. Let's fight just one more night. One more Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Sarah, I hurt myself today trying to make the pain go away. Sarah, I want to fade away, be with the stars in the space. You come and you go. You take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Could he fill a hole inside me? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah, why you leaving me? I lost myself today trying to find which way to stay. You come and you go. You take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Could he fill a hole inside me? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah. Sarah, why you leaving me?
Well, the DJ is taking a break, so it is time for us to come back from our break and talk about Counter-Strike. It's Salamander versus Agility, second map of the night in this particular encounter, second match of the night. I'm Extremes with me, Hayes. What do you say, man?
Well, I've had quite a lot to say so far this evening, and I got quite a bit to say here once again, because we've actually seen Agility on train once before. We saw them against the team that shall not be named in that regional final, and it was the third and deciding map in that series, and they were actually able to close it out.
Yeah, this is the map picker Salamander, though, so...
Yeah, it is.
It'd be interesting to see, was that Agility's ability, shall we say, or was it the team that shall not be named lack of composure? I guess we'll find out. Against Salamander, who looked very composed on Mirage, Agility's map pick.
Yes, they certainly did. So, let's just get a time check there.
11, 10.
Okay, call me when you start the round.
I shall when we get there. One day when we eventually get there in the sweet by and by. 1-0.
Okay, so into the pistol round we go. It's going to be Agility on the T side, Salamander on the CT side. So they're starting on the stronger side on their map pick. Everything in their favor right now. They are 1-0 ahead in the series, and Salamander would love to get off to a flawless start here in Season 10 Agility. They're looking to take some points away from this matchup.
Now they'll be angling for that. On the angle, though, is Badito again. Bodying Blitz. I like saying bodying Badito. Oh, Flash! Could get more. Only gets the one.
Yeah, and this is actually a good little opportunity for Agility to get towards B. The rotations have taken a bit to get through because all of those players were over at the A bomb side. And it is a one-man advantage here for Salamander. And those players, they're going to be pushing up aggressively. Aaron on the angles, able to find one Lord coming in to try and assist his teammate. Coolio looking to have an impact as well. And these blocks up close, they can be dangerous, but both of these players working hand in hand with one another. Lord is forced off the angle, and he tries to dance around the bomb train right now. He's got them lined up, and he's going to be able to take both of them down. 2 bullets, 2 frags, 2 headshots.
Jeez, Lord, yet again with the crispy aim, and he shows it off in the best possible way there. Those shots, so clean. Talking about clean, though, this was pretty clean as well from Badito. He's been looking good tonight.
Yeah, he has certainly had his moments this evening. But Agility, the first team to get on the board. Great couple of shots out of Lord here. They did line up for him.
Nice little detail from Lord as well. As he jumped down there, he actually did the shift walk jump as he fell off the edge, so he didn't actually make any sound.
Yeah. Always important to give as little information as possible away.
Put a stroke on that thing, man. See how far that kill was.
Yeah, he destroyed Bodito, but look at Aaron. How's he been able to pick up 2? And he gets damage. Flash has found a frag. Oh, wow. They practically invested nothing in the round, did Salamander, and they get 3 frags. That's actually quite big, Mike, because we're going to be having a buy round now, and all of a sudden, if Salamander can win this round, they're going to be resetting Agility's economy. And AWP for Bodito as well, so those were some high-impact frags in that eco.
Yeah, he's gone for the glass cannon, but it's not going to matter if he lands the shots, of course. And for Agility, I'm not even sure they'll be quite expecting a buy this strong. It's not usually traditional you'll see the CTs having this much in the way of weaponry in the third round.
Yeah. Oh, missed smoke there from Aaron, so that means the player can come out of main, but it doesn't even make a difference. Towards Ivy, the fight is going down at the moment, and Salamander, they're reigning supreme. Finally, a frag comes through for a rest. How much more can he get? He gets a second onto Bodito, but eventually does get taken down. The AWP will be salvaged as well. Great buy round by Salamander, and now we see the impact of those frags that were found in the eco round coming to fruition. Agility can't go for the buy.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot. I mean, Ares is probably looking and going, like, what about your money, guys? It's not my problem that you can't save properly.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one to say the least for Agility.
Did you see he's on 100? He's fully invested.
Oh wow, and he was the player who did that on Mirage as well, if you can remember.
That's not good. I mean, it depends on whether the in-game leader is actually aware of that or not, but yeah, NJ seems to have a bit of a habit of doing that, Matt.
Yeah, we all know that one guy, don't we?
Yeah.
Normally you're that guy, Mike.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one. I walked into that one, Matt. I just walked into it.
Yeah, Agility, they're going to be walking into the speed bomb side momentarily. They've got a flash and a smoke to work with, trying to aid their cause, and they actually have forced these players off the angle. The bomb is going to be coming through from heaven, so this should be a plant at the bare minimum here for agility. I'd be surprised if they could get anything else out of the round. NJ goes down without having any impact with his armor. Lord shows him you can still get the job done. Blitz has also picked up a frag. Still, I expect Salamander to win the round, but some good damage has been done here by the pistols. Lord stuck between a rock and a hard place just a few seconds before he's going to get taken down from the flanker, Coolio.
So was Coolio the hard place or the rock there? I'm not really sure in your analogy, man.
He was the hard place for sure.
Okay, cool. Glad we cleared that up. That was very important.
Just looking at NJ's economy, he's going to have pistol armor now, but I just have no idea why he went for that buy. He was 0-3, so maybe a little bit frustrated, but still so early on in the half to be making callous decisions like that is completely unnecessary.
Especially on T side of this map as well, where long range deals are part and parcel of it. You want to make sure you got a gun that can actually bite at range.
Yeah. And it's not even like he's going towards Pop Dog. That's pretty much what I immediately anticipated would... Oh, he is towards Pop, excuse me. He just got the bomb.
Well, there we go. Ranged weapon already getting a kill there. Org. 3 orgs, in fact.
If I was NJ, I'd be dropping back towards A main right now. I want that AK. They're actually going to be double dropping into Pop Dog, and that yields the frag. So he's at least going to be able to pick up the org there. Again, Salamander opting for 4 orgs and the AWP. So big fan of this weapon is this team.
Very different to what we saw in the previous map, where both teams were tending to go for all M4A4s when it came to a buy without an AWP.
There were a couple of rounds that Salamander had a couple of orgs.
No, not previous map. I meant previous game.
Okay, I got you. Yes. That's correct.
Anyway, NJ.
Misheard you. Yeah, looking for the entries here coming out of Pop Dog arrest. Oh, what a second frag out of him. That was really quick aim. Now it's all on Flash's shoulders in the 1 versus 4. I'm not even sure how much he can get done from this position.
Well, he's been spotted already. We'll get the kill, but surely he's got to know that he's in a bit of trouble, yeah? Gets the second as well. And he's still pressing this one, Matt. I don't know if that's advisable, but you never know. Errors is pretty low, so it's not outside of the realms of possibility. It kind of feels like it, but you never know. He gets the kill.
Now in the 1 versus 3, he's retrieved the kit. He's going to be straight up sticking it in Cemente. He's having none of that, Mike. What an attempt from Flash, actually, to find 3 frags in the 1 versus 4, reduce it to the 1v1. Cemente must have been shaking in his boots there. He does close it out at least. Damage done, though. However, Salamander, they can't afford to buy up in this round, so it is just going to be pistols for them once again.
Very lucky the bomb was planted for him, Cemente. Otherwise, I think he would have lost that round through pretty much no fault of his own. Salamander taking the wise decision rather than going for the force.
Yep, completely agreed with you. Playing the long game here. Got a couple players playing in yard at the moment. Flash has been able to get to a 4 position here at the P250. Hoping that NJ is going to be making a mistake, and he wasn't ready for that one.
That angle's worked for them a couple times.
Yeah, we saw Salamander doing quite a lot of damage in their previous eco round, and look at the flank coming through here from BZT. He might have the timing work out in his favor because Agility are starting to make their way onto the A bomb side. Lord, he just spotted him. Wow. Yeah, he wasn't wasting any time with that one.
Does the quick double take and then just removes his life from him. Life stealer.
4-2 is the scoreline. We're going to be heading into another buy round here for Salamander. They're going to have that open Bodito.
Very good
across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good start here for the T side, though. I mean, 4 rounds already. I mean, that's what we generally talk of as the bare minimum on this map to get as the T side. It's like an 11-4-10-5 kind of thing, and they've already put themselves in a strong position, and that's going to help them even more. There's the kill, but of course it is actually a trade. Bodito did get that kill on Blitz early on.
Yeah. Fortunately for Salamander, he got that frag because Agility, when they're getting these opening frags, it's almost like 100% conversion rate for them.
Yeah, this is true. And we did see them win this in the regional qualifier as well. And despite it being Salamander's pick, I don't know how much research Salamander might have done on Agility, but they looked pretty okay on this map last week.
Going to be executing into the B bomb side off the back of a couple of flashes, more dry than anything else, not using smokes, and that allows Flash a bit of space to work with. He's able to pick up a double, goes out for the triple. Semente eventually takes him down, but the damage has been done. Flash again coming up with a clutch multi-kill there before he goes down. BZT and Bodito, the two players remaining. Now that smoke missing the mark. Oh man, Lord, taking a huge chunk of damage. Although both of these players have got Molotovs, Mike, and no smokes on the deck right now for Salamander. And Bodito up close with the AWP. Gonna tap the bomb. That's actually gonna be forcing the molly out here a bit earlier than what Semente would have liked to have used it. And he's been mollied out as well. There's a kit on both BZT and a Bodito here, so one of them's gonna have to stick the defuse while the other one covers. Let's see if they've got what it takes. Semente swings wide and BZT deals with him.
Well, that could have been
Salamander winning a close round there, yeah.
That molly, you could have denied them. The only problem, of course, is just there's a bit too much time, and that's always the issue as the T. If you stuck up there, and it's just you alone, you almost feel pressured to release the molly as soon as possible, just so that you can actually use it. Because the alternative is if you do try and take the fight and you get tapped, it just, you don't actually delay them in any way. So
exactly,
it's always a very tough one. And again, I feel like I'm always that guy.
So
what happens when you bait your teammates, Matt?
Yeah,
you're the guy left with the molly.
And then everyone's watching you, waiting for you to clutch, sort of thing.
Yep.
No pressure.
None whatsoever.
Agility, bit of pressure on them here. They've gone for the force buy. Semente coming up Ivy, looking for timing, but that flashbang actually forces him to look away, and that gives Aaron the perfect opportunity to find the frag. Lord, he's going to be doubling up, coming through Ivy as a second wave of attack. He's got an AWP though.
That's an interesting setup.
Yeah, quite awkward to actually be coming through those choke points with that weapon. Although Agility, looks like they've been able to get out into the A bomb site. Salamander being very passive right now, not taking any fights. Coolio pounces and he finds a double, great double at that. I really like the setup actually in the A bomb site from Salamander, but Ares single-handedly picks up a swift double and all of a sudden the round has been blown completely open. He's found himself two. He's going to have to find three more here if it's going to be the ace clutch. Timing seems to be on his side at the moment. Doesn't have the bomb though, and with only 30 seconds left, he's going to have to make a move.
Do you like the style of play out of Salamander? Just how passive they've been and how good they've been in actually backing each other with crossfires. Effective crossfires as well. Flash there coming eventually, not in a flash, rather leisurely, but kind of had to take his time there to actually catch them off. You know, you're always going to be aware as a T that there's that potential flank coming through pop. So your internal spidey senses will tingle after a certain amount of time. You've got to actually, as a CT, you either got to catch them off early or you've got to come way late. Otherwise, you're going to get shut down.
Just looking at the numbers quick, Ares is on 15 frags. None of his teammates above 6. Nearly got triple the second highest fragger on his team. Agility. Look like they want to get aggressive towards this B bomb site. They're going to smoke out the molly. BZT able to take down one. It's now Flash on the opposite side of the smoke. May get betrayed by the lack of ammunition in that M4A1S. Bomb plant should be coming through here, and it does. That's mission accomplished for Agility. That bomb plant.
You think NJ wasn't good at math when he was in school?
I don't know. I just think he's one of those players who always wants a weapon in the round. Not content with a Glock or a P250.
Always force. It's just like maybe he's got a French relative. I don't know.
Perhaps that is the case.
Well, NJ could be finding the timing here, and it's really unusual out of Aaron and Co to actually be that aggressive and allow themselves to be caught off. Thankfully, Bodito on the angle to actually get the trade there and manages to escape with his life as well. And actually, Flash is really far forward. They got a ton of map knowledge here, man.
He's got so much control right now. In fact, he's playing the position of the T, throwing that utility down into Pop Dog. And in fact, that's going to actually force Blitzard into Bodito's crosshair. Great little team play there from Salamander. Agility seem to be running out of answers here on the T side once Salamander have got the ground or they've started to get some momentum going. Coolio going to be the next point of contention here towards Old Bomb. And he's going to get taken down by Lord's AWP, and that leaves Bodito in a tough position. If he doesn't react quick enough, he's high and dry. And he does get taken down. All of a sudden, this round is completely opened up. 2 versus 2 in Flash on the opposite side of the world. Not going to have an immediate impact. BZT, he's got the angle with the AWP, and that's going to be a crouch peek. Easy frag for him. And that's the player he would have wanted because Lord is only on 9 points of health.
Lord's very lucky he actually went for the plant and shifted his position because that nade was like seeking out his location there. But he does get the bomb plant down now. Manages to cross it again. I don't know why he actually went back to that position. Maybe hoping to catch them off.
Seems like he's not 100% committed to anything here. And he's going to get spotted out by Flash. Unfortunately, it was one of those positions which was either just going to 100% work out for him or go against him. Went for that gamble play, and this time round it doesn't work out for him. That's a 4th consecutive round for the Hungarians, and they're starting to look good here on their CT side.
Yeah, it was looking actually very much in the favor of agility until not too long ago. So Salamander have done pretty well to bring it back. Actually, yeah, sorry.
Yeah?
I was just gonna say the economy on a couple players is looking okay, but they're not actually that good overall. So still opportunities for agility here to really turn the knife in and maybe turn the screws to them.
Coolio opening up just to try and deny agility that opportunity to turn that knife. And he's going to continue to aggress here with the angle. Using these orgs fantastically today have been Salamander. So we've got 2 Hungarian teams in Season 10. I'm not sure if we've ever had 2 Hungarian teams in one season before. Maybe you could...
There probably has been before, but I don't remember it. But then again, I only date back to circa season 7, so we'll have
the
to
thing
see.
is it's actually quite exciting, especially considering how successful Gamerzone were at that D4 Future Sports competition. I mean, I say successful, and what I mean by that is they took a map off of MIBR.
Oh, they pushed them
the
close.
distance as well. Yeah, they really did. And the likes of Torzi and Hussar looked very good. So
I mean, those are guys we've casted plenty in SEC.
Yeah.
So
they played in Season 8 for Hyperion.
Yep.
So definitely looking forward to seeing them in the competition arrest. Looking to try and get some damage. Does get damage, but not fatal. Just want to have a quick look here and see exactly when we're going to be witnessing Gamerzone versus Salamander Gaming.
yeah, actually we got Gamer.
Match day 11.
Oh, geez, that's quite a long way away.
15th of October, yeah.
Well, Agility will be facing Gamerzone tomorrow, and I don't think they could be going against a tougher opponent at this stage of their development in the championship. Aaron getting super aggressive. Yeah, what? How is he still alive, man?
He doesn't even know where he is, Mike, and he's been able to find a second frag. Very fortunate for him that he was able to evade all those T players when he was completely blind. So they'll be able to buy for the rest of the half, yeah, regardless of what goes on.
So talking about the game tomorrow, we of course Agility Gamerzone that I just mentioned is the first game. The second one I'm salivating over. That's Fate versus Blue Jays.
Oh wow,
Ooh,
our 2 finalists of last year.
Replay of the grand final from last year, so early on.
I wonder who Fate are going to have in Rainwaker's place. We're going to find out soon.
Oh, and there's BZT with the early kill. A little bit of nade damage on NJ as well.
I saw them playing with Blocker and Victor as well in the past couple of weeks. They were standing in for that Fate side. So maybe we'll be seeing one of those players because they're currently there. Free agents, yeah.
Well, either of those 2 guys would be a great addition to any team from the region. So great showings from Bulgarian teams lately, and through the smoke he goes, but through the smoke he gets hosed down by Aaron.
Bullet. So fortunate that Aaron was actually able to get that frag through the smoke, and off the back of that agility, they're going to try and make it happen towards the B bomb site. But BZT sitting there with Flash, they've been a dynamic duo so far. Neither one of them even going to go down as they hold the defense. And agility looking lost on their T side now. NJ and Cemente only with 3 frags each.
Yeah, that's a worrying sign. I mean, Arrow's doing the heavy lifting. Lords also look good at times. Hear something in chat there, I don't know, maybe a little bit of banter.
Jeez, what's up with agility and banter, man?
Oh yeah, it's been interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy when you're talking about there being 2 Hungarian teams that neither of them are Budapest 5, eh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. Gonna be missing out on those guys this season.
Oh, look at this aggression here towards
wow. Changing things up our Salamander in their pursuit of the defense. And it's gonna be a push through the smoke, it looks like. No, he stops on the edge. And now Salamander focus their resources towards Pop Dog, where Lord comes through trying to have an impact. There's a second player in Aries, and he's going to get the same treatment. Aaron gets the double. Coolio's got one, and they're not done either. The two of them just dealing the damage right now. Some very successful teamwork coming through from Salamander on the CT side so far, and I've really appreciated the way that they've changed things up. Whether it's Flash getting aggressive at B, looking for control in pop, keeping Agility busy in A main, there's just always something going on.
Very, very impressive. It actually reminds me a little bit of what we saw out of Wendigo on this map a couple seasons ago. Similar style of
Yeah.
sort of oppressive defense, aggressive oppressive defense towards A main. It gives you very little space to execute as a T side if the CTs are able to get in your faces really early on. Because, I mean, the alternative, of course, that we've seen so often from T sides is they managed to rush a bunch of players out of A main into Olaf before the CTs can actually stop them. But yeah, the CTs are taking a similar approach in defense.
Indeed.
Look how far up they are again, and it just, again, puts them in such a good spot. There's a nice trade zone. If Blitz can get this one, finally, that could break the defense. I think the defense
There
might
we
be
go.
broken here.
Finally, Agility are able to find a quick flurry of frags, and it puts them in a good position now to try and drive this round home.
Double AWPs on the
Two-man
retake.
advantage, yeah, and both of these players have got AWPs. That becomes a heavy liability. Although Bodito and BZT both find a quick frag. The trade was there, so it leaves BZT in the 1 versus 2 as he's making his way forward. Yeah, double flash smoke to work with. Cemente doesn't seem to realize how far forward BZT has actually been able to get. This is going to be a free frag up close. He knows where the second player is as well. He's got a smoke and a kit. This is doable. Blitz looking for the angle
Jeez.
on the flick.
We were just building it up there. I was expecting a wild spray and maybe for him to come off the bomb and try for a no scope. But I'm just seeing the storyline here, and it's just no, it's one tap. He's just like, he's done. Click.
Yeah, that was good.
That's good to see as well, because of course you'll often expect the guy calling to be way below. Well, as Cemente is, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm assuming he's the caller.
Not even sure who the shot caller is for Salamander, actually.
Do you not know?
Might
I
be
guess.
Flash, because he's definitely one of the more experienced players on that side.
Well, we can definitely ask our Hungarian colleagues. I'm sure they could let us know on that one. Looking at the scoreboard here, Ara's on 103 ADRs. 3 of his teammates in the 30s on ADR. That's just a bit worrying for him. On the other side, very, very even between the 70s and 80s.
Yep. Keeping things level, exactly what you want at the halftime stage. Same can't be said for Agility.
Yeah,
So we should be
indeed.
getting going with that second half momentarily. At least Agility were able to find that last round of the half. Don't forget, they were up 4-2 at one stage. So to lose the half 10-5 is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, that's quite the reversal. So, well, let's see how the T side starts for Salamander. It is a very difficult side of the map. 5 is still enough for Agility. It's not by no means put them outside of the realms of winning this game.
He's got the angle, and Cemente
Cemente.
gets easily dispatched of.
Don't know what he was thinking there.
Yeah, I have no idea either. He thought he was an F1 race car for a second.
Went for the F1 race car peak, the MPL
Yeah,
team.
exactly.
Oh, that was weird. He didn't even seem to have the spawn to be able to do that. So, anyway. Meanwhile, he's just having a bit of a luckless game. Lords had plenty of luck with the headshots. Gets 1, gets 2. In fact, he's got the bomb, Matt.
Great job from Lord there with the backstab, securing the bomb as well, as you noted, and he's going to be able to find another one there as well. That's exactly the start that Agility required. He had so much information, and Agility were able to rotate accordingly.
A bit indecisive from Salamander, but I think also a little bit unlucky that they were caught out by Lord's rotate there, because you're not going to expect the CT side to be that quick on the rotate. There was a knife in spawn, was it, or was it a shot?
That must have been a knife. I don't think even a headshot with a Glock would do that much damage to a teammate.
That nade touches down.
Because isn't it a triple dink with a Glock to an armored player?
I think they're unarmored, so...
Oh, that's true. That's true. Makes a difference, indeed.
It does.
Should be a run-of-the-mill round here.
Do you like the fact they're going for the full savior to bring out the AKs in the next round? Very often we'll see teams actually force in this situation. And I think Train is one of the maps where it's least useful to force, actually. Oh, denied. Cruelly denied, and he nearly creates as well before he catches the shots. That's your teammate, mate.
Cemente getting a bit excited there, shooting everything that moves. The software is corrupt.
It does seem so. Oh, BZT, I think maybe he was just chilling in spawn or something.
But he's in their backline right now. He could catch somebody off guard here if they don't pay attention. Lord is directly above him right now. No ways. Can he get a bomb plant from this?
Oh my word.
Surely not, Mike.
Oh my word. This is bizarre.
No, Lord is
man.
gonna see him. No, he gets around the corner just in time. Lord should spot that the bomb has been.
Plant.
No, they're too close. No.
No way. No
Wow.
way.
That was clutch. That was BZT practically just won the round.
Oh my word. That was so sneaky. I don't think I've ever seen the like of that, man.
Yeah, he played that really well. He used all the audio cues in the world, and he had a bit of luck on his side there with timing as well. But that extra $800 is going to go a long way in aiding Salamander in terms of the amount of utility they're going to be taking into this next buy round. That's an extra $800.
Yeah, it makes a big difference to their cause. They would have just been on AKs and the bare minimum of flashes and smokes. Now they'll have mollies as well. That's going to help them no end in actually getting in the side. And they will have weapon superiority here as well. So very winnable round for them on their first buy just because of that.
$800 on each player, 8.5s, what's that? That's $4,000 extra across the board just from that bomb plant.
Yeah, that's super useful to their overall effort. BZT there with the big brain and the big score, 16 and 8 on him. And we'll see the first buy round, and of course we are seeing the 2 SMGs. They do have 3 rifles to agility, but it's actually very heavily favored here towards Salamander. Oof, that nade though touching down again.
Yeah, doing a huge amount of damage to Coolio. Agility need to pick up this buy round. They can't allow Salamander to get into the half so early on, considering that they're already on 10. Although they do have that huge lack of weaponry, I suppose, so not going to be the end of the world if Agility do lose it, because they'll buy up in the next regardless.
Still a nice opportunity for Salamander to strike back early on. Let's see if they are able to take that opportunity. A lot of emphasis here towards Ivy from them. They've actually got 4 players stacked up towards Ivy. I wonder if that's going to catch off Agility a little bit. Blitz waiting for a guest there, waiting to receive him. He's got the canapes open, sparkling wine as well. You know, on the angle there, Lord.
Able to get one. He's still got a few more to deal with though. He's going to get traded up, but the trades are going Agility's way right now. Flash though, just holding the angle, going to get gifted a frag. So that's an entry that Salamander can work with. What? Oh no, laziness indeed coming through there from Arrest. So he gets caught off guard, and all of a sudden we're down to 2 versus 2. Make that a 1 versus.
Okay, brain is short-circuited, yeah, Matt. I don't even understand how that happened. It shouldn't have happened. Where were the comms for Agility? They clearly were not talking to each other about where the Pop Dog player was. There's no way he should have been able to peek out of there and get any kills, man.
Yeah, and I love the tack pause coming out of Salamander after that as well. Just sits and stew.
You will think about what you did. It's kind of the equivalent of if your dog pees on the carpet, making them smell it.
Yeah, jeez, is that something that your house used to do?
I've seen people do it. I don't have dogs.
Oh man, yeah, that's really unfortunate. That's gonna frustrate Agility a lot. When you're playing from behind and you pick up the pistol and the round thereafter, and you're in such a good position in the first buy round, to drop the ball is quite something. And look at the utility now. There's barely any here for Agility. No kit. A glass cannon off on Lord, so this is actually a huge turn of events. If Salamander win this round, probably sets them up to win the map.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see how things work out here. Because those nades are certainly going to be a factor, and in the absence of them, it's going to be on these Agility players to actually hit their shots. Which, well, at this stage, they have been hitting some of them, but the communication again has been breaking down. all those nades flying in. It's on Cementa here to actually do something, Matt.
Yeah, he's gonna get checked, and he's able to find one, but still, elsewhere, deeper in the bomb sites, it's Salamander taking control, and Bodito and Aaron still look to continue to surge forward, but there's gonna be a wrap through the smoke. Bodito is not aware of this, but he's still able to get that pick onto Lord. That's huge. Lord thought he had the frag for all money. Aaron finds a pick as well, and the T side starting to come to fire here, starting to come to life for Salamander.
Yeah, certainly coming to life, and while they're coming to life, it could be the last throws of death here for Agility, or the first throws, shall we say, because there's a kill for Arrow, 7 HP though, so he's hurting.
Yeah,
and
he's going down here. There's a player coming through Ivy. Oh, actually, Perez was able to get around the corner just in time, so he might be able to save this weapon. Yeah, he's going to be able to take it into the next round at least. A bit of a silver lining for Agility, but the team has got no money at all. Does he go for the Deagle buy here, Mike?
I hope
Hopefully
he
not.
Oh, Lord is investing. They're actually... Oh, NJ buys a nade. That's a weird one. I'd think a P250 would be more useful, but anyway.
Yeah,
His own fire there to get the kill. And the gun's already gone, the round's already gone, Matt.
yeah. Unfortunately for Agility, it wasn't able to get much done at all. 13-7 is imminent. And that means Agility have to win that next buy round. This is exciting heading into the rest of the season, just seeing how good Salamander are looking. Of course, this is the first time we're getting a bit of a look at them, and they are a solid team, to say the least.
Yeah, they're looking pretty competitive. It bodes well, certainly for the rest of the season. But yeah, should be able to get both. Doesn't, in fact. Blitzing him a little bit there.
Yeah, and he's just going to be trying to save this M4 as well, but he can hear there's so many people pursuing him right now. Even somebody coming out of their main. He doesn't even have armor. I have no idea how he wins that fight. And Salamander say, alright, you know what? You can take the M4. We'll take the round win.
Yeah, keep it, buddy. We don't need it that bad.
I must say, I do like the little change to the minimap with the X's representing where each individual died. You got your orange X for the T side and your blue X for the CT side.
Yeah, it's very useful. It gives you a pretty good idea. It's like looking at heat maps, but...
Yeah, exactly. Sort of get an idea of where the action went down and gives you some contextual information as to how the round transpired. Right now, it's all out aggression. Salamander trying to do that killing blow. Great shot from Aaron through the smoke. And he's going to continue to push forward off the back of that, but he does go down to Blitz, who's looking to double up.
Should get the better of this as Ares, and he does. In fact, Lord also jumping in with the kill as well. Now suddenly, after that early advantage, it's all swung the other way. Blitz, they're getting a couple of nice headshots.
Yeah, he had a great round there with the triple kill. Such an important position there that he was playing as well. So the fact that he comes up huge is great for Agility. 13-8 is the scoreline, and Agility need to get some momentum. They need to pick up some consecutive rounds here. Still probably enough money in the bank to convince Salamander to go for a buy in the next round, particularly if they find a bomb plant here. So Agility do have an upward battle here in front of them.
With aggression. Oh, I thought it wouldn't work, but he actually does get a kill on Aaron there.
Yeah, I think that was alright because he also got a huge amount of damage onto BZT. So generally we say a 1-for-1 trade favors the T side, but that extra bit of damage he got down might be the difference, especially considering that Coolio and BZT are now both within that one-tap range of the M4. And we can see BZT does get taken down, but Blitz gets caught between the fire and the ladder. He has to go up, and that means he goes to his death, ascending into Bodito.
Oh, and there's a kill for Flash.
Oh, that's huge.
He just keeps getting these really smart kills where he gets in behind them, Matt.
Yeah. Very good timing coming through from him. Lord looking to try to find the frag, and he does. Quick headshot means that they retake control of this B bomb site. The bomb's coming through, but this is awkward now for Salamander. All of a sudden, Bodito is going to get sprayed down. 1 versus 1 is the name of the game. Coolio drops the molly to secure the bomb plant, and Lord, he's going to be coming here through connector. I think Coolio should have heard some footsteps there. He's just trying to make it back towards the red train, get some cover. There is a kitch here for Lord, no utility though. And Coolio goes all the way back towards A main, hoping that he catches Lord on the long angle. Lord's going to be looking around the close corners, looking towards the choke points, and he's going to catch him in the back. Salamander reply with the round immediately, and that's going to take all the win behind Agility's sails and put it behind Salamander's.
Yeah, this game is very firmly in their control at this point. You got to bet on them right now, considering agility is well, they're pretty much throwing the kitchen sink at it, and unfortunately, it's not a very solid kitchen sink. There's a couple holes in it, more than just the plug hole.
Yeah, that's not an effective sink, Mike. Julio is gonna find the first frag. He gets a spray transfer. It's not gonna kill Lord though. Blitz in a good position here outside again. Timing's going to work out for him to take down BZT. That means we're down to a 3v3. All three of those Salamander players coming out of Pop Dog, aggressively pushing in towards the A bomb side. Going to be able to take down Blitz, isolating his teammates with that Molotov.
Will that nade?
Going to do some damage. Semente actually pushing through the fire. He's going to be able to find the first, but he's not going to be able to get Flash. Coming up huge for his team once again. He's got 23 frags in 23 rounds. Great stuff from him, topping the charts on the server right now. Arrest not far away, neither is Lord. It's weird to see that Agility have the second and third highest fraggers on the server right now, even though they're down 15-8.
You wouldn't think Flash as a player has actually announced that he'll retire at the end of the season with the way he's going
really?
at the moment.
Is that the case?
Yep, info we've got from Picky Bear, one of our Hungarian experts. Flash there again, I mentioned his name and he's planted Lord in the ground. We're in a 5v4 at this early juncture in this what could be the last round. I mean, considering agility, we were talking about them using a kitchen sink full of holes. More holes than is necessary. Well, I mean, if we take that, it's pretty much a colander at this point with the, the weaponry they do have.
Well, they're rice, and we all know colander and rice just don't go very well together.
Some of them slip through, eh?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, so irritating. Ares, the only player in the A bomb site right now, he is looking to try and keep control, try and find some information while his three teammates sit at B. And they're not going to have any impact at all on the outside execute. Ares even looking for some information. His death is imminent right now. Oh, at least he's able to find a frag before he goes down, but still, I don't have any hope for Blitz, Semente, and NJ. They went for the gamble stack over at B, and unfortunately, Salamander have made their way across to A. 2 SMGs and a Mag 7, literally the worst weapons they could have right now in the retake, other than pistols across the board. Maybe even pistols would be better than these MP9s at range, particularly better than that Mag 7. There's one kit and a flash, and I just don't think this is going to be happening right now. Salamander looking to close the game out right here, right now. They know where Blitz is. They know where NJ is as well. And it's just a matter of time before they get themselves across the line. You can hear the GG calls already coming through. Bodito, he's going to be closing out the map, and Salamander, they win the match 2-0, closing out Train 16-8.
Nice and easy does it in the end after a couple of worrying moments. Well, we won't worry. We'll take a break.
Hi, I'm Pringles.
And I'm Chips.
Wanna play?
Wanna lose?
Controllers. That round goes to me, I guess.
Yeah, okay, mister, I'm so funny today, but I've got this greasiness, you know?
No, I don't know. Pringles doesn't give you greasy hands. Ready now?
Yeah.
Well,
I can't.
that's 2-0 for me, I guess.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Well, it does appear as if we are back, and well, we're just back to wrap things up quickly, talk about the our final thoughts. So first off, thanks to the sponsors, Pringles, Vodafone, and everybody for being involved, and thanks to you guys for watching. We won't analyze it, we'll jump into it tomorrow. Join us tomorrow. Cheers.